Me and Ticket already had conversations about this. We good. Showtime, you're done. What did I tell you? I've been told you. What, you laughed at me. You laughed at me. How dare you? How dare? Yeah.
I got nothing. Oh my god.
You're that L right now.
Oh my god.
What did I tell you?
To be honest with you, Dub, I'm sitting there watching that last night. I'm in amazement. I'm for real sitting there last night like, what am I watching? It was incredible.
Bro, one of the best performances in our franchise's history, bro.
It was incredible. I can honestly sit here today and just, this is what you're going to get from me, Dub.
You can't say nothing. You can't say nothing.
Zero.
You laughed at me when I told you that we wanted to face the Bucks. You laughed at me when I told you that that's a matchup that we think we can win. And we'd rather face them over Boston. You said, I'm not buying I'm not buying that logic.
I wasn't.
I'm not buying that logic.
What
did I tell you? What did I tell you? It was part of the plan. Now we up 3-1, and in this era, bro, I don't believe 3-1 leads anymore. I just don't. So we gotta finish the job.
Right.
You know, the series is not over.
Right.
But I've told everybody, the Bucks were a team that we thought that we can upset way more than the Boston Celtics. We've always had their number. We've always competed with them. And now
you said that, but you only said that because y'all lost to Atlanta. Y'all didn't do that on purpose. You lost to Atlanta, and so you jumped over there and said, "Oh, we did it on purpose."
Hey, Bobby, how's that rebounding issue going? How's that rebounding issue going? How's that rebounding issue going, Bobby? Bobby, how's that rebounding issue?
Whoa! Hold on, Biz. That rebounding issue is going really good because y'all out rebounded them in the fourth quarter. That's what run the game. That was the difference in the game yesterday.
Jimmy Butler was the difference in the game. We're not doing
that. You know why, Jimmy? I'm glad
you're doing that.
I'm gonna tell you why we're doing that. This is why. So, as good as Jimmy Butler was, and like I said, I'm watching this, and my jaw is to the floor. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. But go rewind the game film back to 3 minutes. It's about 3 minutes 3.5 minutes in the game. It's a one possession game. You guys are down 3. Right? You guys are down 3. You come down in transition. In the process of you coming down in transition, Buckets gets a look, and he goes over Drew Holiday. Giannis is on the weak side. He's got to block out your best DN3 guy in Caleb Martin. What does Caleb Martin do? Come from one end of the floor to the other end of the floor, gets the rebound, extends the possession, gets the ball in the corner. Not only does he get the ball in the corner, cracks a 3 right in Giannis's face. Now, what happens is you have some momentum with that. The very next play, they trying to call timeout. Kyle Lowry causes a turnover. Ball game. Because not only do you now have some momentum, now you have all the momentum. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jimmy Butler Show.
So, facts. So, I'm not going to sit here and discount some of those key moments, right? I do think that did play a part. But we're talking about the overall totality of everything, right? Mm-hmm. They had 16 offensive boards. Mm-hmm. 16. And we were still able to overcome that. This man Bobby up here to the left, oh man, when they're grabbing offensive boards like that, you know, they just not going to be able to win that. And what happened?
I explained it to you, Dub. You want to pretend like we didn't just talk about this the other day. Go ahead.
We won. Come on, you can Bobby.
Pretend, Dub, what did I say? Do I got to repeat myself, Dub? I said if you're shooting out of your mind, if you're having a crazy shooting game, then offensive rebounds and second chance points may not affect it. But if it's a close game, if it's nothing like that, then yeah, that's gonna make a difference. If Jimmy Butler goes for 56, that's one of those situations where it's like offensive rebounds aren't really gonna do nothing. Jimmy Butler carried his squad. I was juiced yesterday. I almost threw my son across the room when he hit that second 3. I was in there watching that. But you know, Dub. I always had love for the Heat. Always had love for Jimmy Butler. I did not see this happening. Hey, but I'm juiced. This is good basketball. This is what I'm here for.
Fact. And my bad, Ron. Next time, tell me if my mic sounds like that. That's not how I'm supposed to sound like. Y'all can see the difference now. It sounds way better, right?
Dub, I thought you just lost your voice in light of last night's game.
I didn't know.
I thought that was from Open Gym.
Oh, bro, we've been on the road, baby. And I told Ron, I said, bro, I got to pull up today because I had to see Chill. I had to see his face. And that's it. Me and Ticket already had conversations about this already. So me and Ticket good. But
it was incredible. And I got to say this to you, dog. And maybe I'm out of line. Have you guys seen Giannis shrink like this before?
Oh yeah, 2019,
Yeah, this ain't-
That's where I was
2020.
going. That's where I was
Yeah.
going, Doug. That's exactly where I was going, Marz. This is the last time when I saw him do yesterday. I'm thinking to myself, that looked like 2019 Giannis against Leonard, where he completely just shrank. Don't get me wrong. When you a big dog, you do big dog things, as opposed to when you in a big dog with a room with another big dog, and that big dog bites you. And that's what it looked like yesterday. Giannis did not answer the bell. After everything that was going on, Giannis did not answer the bell. Jimmy Butler made it. I've said this to you a bunch of times, Dub. Jimmy Butler does not blow me away with his athleticism. He does not blow me away with his skill set. But when he steps on the court, I'm the best player out here. It's not one of you dudes who can see me. I don't care who's in front of me. I'm better than every last one of you dudes. Every last one of you. And I'm going to show it to you. I'm not going to show it to you by blowing you away with athleticism. Confidence is something way different when you have it. And what Jimmy Butler has, he's always had it. And this is why me and Ox had this conversation earlier in the month where I started to bring up the idea that playoff buckets is a real thing, because I've seen him in the playoffs and I've seen him in the regular season. And in the regular season, he's been good. He's been an all-pro. But in the playoffs, it just seems like there's a switch that gets flipped with him, and he goes from here to here. Like whatever he does, he just does it more. And last night, he looked like the biggest of big dogs. Mm-hmm. And this is why, and again, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this humbly to you, Dub. I've never seen, I ain't going to say I've never seen anything like this, but to watch that, I was in amazement.
This was like watching a LeBron James in Game 6. This was like watching a D Wade in the 06 finals. This was like watching one of those performances in the game in which he had last night. Jimmy Butler astounded everybody in the building that night. That man was on one, bro. And I appreciate all the love he's getting, man. It's crazy.
Is it over? Is it a wrap now?
It's not over yet. Like
No.
I said, bro, 3-1. You only up 3-1. And like you said before, where Giannis is shrinking, I don't know if it's the injury. I'm not sure, but I was worried because in that first quarter, I thought he was about to have like 30 easy. I thought he was gonna have to finish with 30 ball easy, maybe even 40. But after that first quarter, like the switch stopped. Like he just stopped. He stopped being Giannis. He stopped driving in with him just dropping his shoulder and running through people. Should get called for a charge, but we just gonna let it rock. He just stopped. I don't know what his motor stopped after the first quarter.
It was Bam, bro. Bam played good defense down the stretch. He was riding with him, keeping his hands up. They called one foul that wasn't a foul. You know, Giannis.
Yes,
Bam,
that's true.
Bro, Bam played some good defense in that fourth quarter. I really didn't see the first quarter. I only watched into that, but specifically in the fourth quarter, Bam was playing good D, bro. He was Bam was riding him with his hands straight up.
So Bam was in foul trouble, right? So Bam got in foul trouble early. So that's where I got worried. I was like, dang, he got in foul trouble early. That's giving Giannis the green light in his mind frame. All right, cool. We got the best defender. I got Highsmith on me. I got Love on me. I'm going to sit here and attack. When Bam comes back, I'm going to still continue the same thing. But even when Bam came back, like he wasn't attacking. He wasn't trying to put him in foul trouble. And in my mind frame, I'm like, what's going on, Giannis? Like, why aren't you doing what you was doing in the first quarter? That was weird to me. That was really weird.
I don't think he shrinked though. I don't think he folded. I think Bam just stepped up.
To be honest with you, I saw him in the third quarter. I saw him punching it still. Like I remember that one steal that he had over both Kevin Love and Gabe Vincent, and basically picked it back up and punched it through. So I'm thinking, in terms of health, there's nothing wrong with Giannis. He's fine, right? There's nothing wrong with him. But that stage last night, this is what I mean when I talk about guys like top 10, top 20 guys. These guys have moments. What I mean when I say moments is when they get with another star and they get in the battle, you remember that. I remember Bird going up against Dominique Wilkins and basically matching him bucket for bucket, right? I remember Sleepy Floyd going for 50 against Magic, against that great Laker team. I'm watching Giannis and I'm thinking, when are you gonna step in the ring and accept the challenge? Because that's basically what Jimmy Butler did. We're not losing tonight, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. We're not losing tonight, and you're not gonna stop me. I'm thinking to myself, Giannis, do something. Do something. I'm gonna accept the challenge, and I'll deal with him. And another thing I got to do too is I got to start questioning the idea: is Drew Holiday the best perimeter defender in the game?
Oh my God.
Chill. Let's not do that.
Hold on.
Jimmy was just having a great.
He's top five.
Here's why. Here's why.
Top one. Whoa,
Here's why.
I
I watched
think he's
Jalen
top
Brunson.
two.
I watched Jalen Brunson put 44 on him. And then when we get to the playoffs, right? When we get to the playoffs, this is the most important time of the year. Jimmy Butler, I think he's averaging 35 a game in this series against the best perimeter defender in the game. In the words of Lupe Fiasco, if you are what you say you are, show it to us. Because I'm watching the New York Knicks average 116 points, and the Cleveland Cavaliers got the number one defense in the league. They've held them to under 100 a game. And I'm watching Jimmy Butler average 35 a game against the best perimeter defender in the game. If you are what you say you are, prove it.
So you know, Jimmy Butler, Jordan cannot be put on the same level as other people. Great offensive players will make the best defensive players sometimes look pedestrian. I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I'm not saying it's crazy or ridiculous, but it might be a little bit of an overreaction.
I'm not saying he's not a great perimeter defender. I'm not going that far. But when you are the best in the game, Tony, you're a football guy. I don't ever remember watching Deion Sanders get smoked. Ever. Never watched him get smoked.
Better than Drew? So who's better
right
than
now?
I'm not saying that's the thing. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking to myself, if you are the best, things like this.
Though.
How?
I think you can't relate it to football because there's more of a team dynamic. There's so many other things that go into it. But in terms of basketball, go through the greatest defenders of all time. Right. Every single one of them. Right. Every single one of them. Moncrief, Jordan, Pippen, Olajuwon, everyone has gotten cooked at some point, right? So
58.
I'm not ready to say
on
no.
The biggest stage, Gilbert Arenas gave Kobe 60. In the playoffs?
He do it in the playoffs.
Kareem had 27. Kareem had 27. Hakeem at an older age.
Yeah, I just feel I want to applaud. I just feel I want to applaud. I want to applaud playoff Butler versus knock someone else. For me, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, but I just rather applaud Butler because he does not get enough flowers, and we need to give him some.
Certainly do. But if you're the best defender, you're gonna get cooked. Eventually, you're guarding the best.
Like Chill, you said the best shot blockers get dunked on all the time. Like the best perimeter defenders are gonna get cooked because they're guarding the best players all the time. It's how it goes.
I get you though. It's the difference between getting cooked and getting scolded. I'm talking about flame, like burnt to a crisp. He gave this dude 58. That's not something to question things. 56, 58, 52, 50, whatever. He gave him 50. It's not right to question that.
This may be nasty, but when MJ was dropping 50 to people, I mean, were we questioning how good of defenders the other guys were? We were just like, nah, this guy's is just a great scorer.
I mean, yeah, people do say MJ was going against bad defenders all the time, to be fair.
They do say that.
Right,
because
of course. He made them look bad. That's the point.
But we're talking about MJ. I mean, he did scorch Joe Dumars, but Joe Dumars was going up against Jordan. I mean, Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler for the past 2 seasons, he's been cooking the best defenses. He was cooking the Boston Celtics all alone. He was cooking them.
As a descendant of the GOAT,
that cooked, the same defense that slowed down KD, Jimmy Butler was cooking them.
Yes, he was. So maybe I'm out of line because I praise Drew Holiday as the best perimeter defender in the game, but I'm thinking to myself, yo, if you are the best perimeter defender in the game, at some point, no, you ain't scoring no more. You're not. You aren't scoring on me. I got 6 fouls. You're not getting 56 on me. You're not getting 60 on me on this stage. And if you are going to do that, I'm gonna one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to either foul out or I'm going to at least match that. If we're going to go at each other, we're going to go at each other. It can't just be you just out here destroying me. Now, to Marz's point, Marz, you are 100% right. The best Mutombo used to get dunked on a lot, and Mutombo was you can make the argument him and Lonzo Mourning are 2 of the best rim protectors of their generation. That's part of it. But when we get to the playoffs, I can't see Mutombo getting dunked on 8-9 times, right? I can't see. I can't see. He did destroy him. Yes, yes, he did.
He did.
And I love that. I did love that. I'm not gonna lie about that. But that's Shaq. Are we talking about Mutombo in the first round against, I don't know, a lesser player, like getting dunked on almost every other trip? You would have to ask yourself, well, wait a minute. I mean, this is the defensive player of the year, the best rim protector in the game, or arguably the best rim protector in the game. At some point, you got to slow this dude down. I have to do my job, or I got to eat it after the game. Yo, that was on me. Yeah, that was on me. I gotta take the blame for that. That was on me. He shouldn't go. I'm not saying that Jimmy Butler isn't awesome, because Jimmy Butler is fantastic. Dub, I only want to do one thing. I want to take his name off, take Jimmy Butler's name off, and I want to ask you, you got a guy who took his team to the NBA Finals 2 times, took his team to the NBA Finals 1 year, then took his team to the Eastern Conference Championship, and it was a shot away from going back to the NBA Finals. He's an all-NBA performer, and he's an all-league defender. How are we talking about that dude?
Like I said, if this guy had the name of like LeBron James or Kevin Durant,
no
Steph
name,
Curry,
no.
I'm not
name.
like, all I'm saying is if somebody were to have that in a better, where people thought about them highly, they would call them the best player in the league.
At minimum, a top 10 player. Is that correct?
At minimum, top 5.
Okay.
Well, this is also the question I want to ask.
If Kawhi Leonard had done what Jimmy Butler had done in the past 3 years, he would be called a top 5 player.
He'll
no
call the
question
best.
about it, Marz.
The best.
No question about it, right? So we talking about Jimmy Butler like he's fringe top 10. Like he's fringe top 10. We talking about him. Meanwhile, he gets to the postseason and he's scorching the league's best perimeter defender. Not only the league's best perimeter defender, the number 1 seed. For him to throw this team on his back. Don't get me wrong. I know Giannis missed 2 of the 3 wins that they've had. Giannis missed them. Still, for him to throw this team on his back with Caleb Martin, no Tyler Hero, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson. I can keep going, guys. For him to throw this team on his back, and now they basically have the Milwaukee Bucks facing elimination. This is some of the most impressive stuff that I've ever seen.
So I got a lot of questions that I want to ask you guys. The first question, I want to get straight to kind of like the game, because we all said that Giannis's performance was underwhelming. Chill also highlighted the fact that Drew was getting cooked all game, but let's also factor in Drew only scored 14 points and went 6 for 19, 31% shooting, 2 for 11 from 3, 18% from 3. So I want to ask you guys, who had more of a disappointing game? Was it Giannis or was it Drew?
It's obviously Drew. Well, determining on the people I've talked around, I don't know about you guys, but I heard all season long, Drew's getting better. His shooting's getting better. He got so much better as a player in the last 3 years. He's a guy who could step up as a second option. He can be reliable. And what has been going on with Drew Holiday, like what's been happening every single year he's been in the postseason, his scoring and his percentages, they're dropping. They're not dropping a little bit. They are dropping dramatically. This is just, and I love Drew Holiday. I think he's a great, phenomenal role player, but this is just who he is at this point. Like, he's just not that secondary guy that you can rely on.
And I gotta disagree. I gotta disagree with Dub, because I think what he just said at the end, this is who Drew Holiday is. He's a exceptionally good defender, like top 5. Chill has him as the best perimeter defender, but the expectation level isn't as high as it is with Giannis. We all sat here yesterday saying, "Oh, Giannis is back. It's a wrap," but it wasn't because of him. So it's got to be because the bar is higher for Giannis. The gap between what we expect and what we got, I think, was bigger. So I'm gonna go with Giannis.
I'm gonna go with Jimmy Butler had 56. You know, like Jimmy had 56, bro. Drew's playing basketball. He could have played a little better. Giannis didn't play bad, if you ask me. Jimmy had 56, bro. Caleb, what was that? That's Caleb or Cody? Caleb. That's Caleb. Did y'all see that boy?
Yeah,
he was not playing. They was not gonna lose that game.
He has been, Marz. Yes, he has.
Very well the whole
season. Yes, he has. They was not gonna lose that game. Jimmy Butler had 56.
Yeah, I always thought the Twins was dope too since Nevada. But go ahead, Chill.
Sure. And again, I understand that Drew Holiday's getting older, but he's still in his prime. He's still got some. I think he's still got some good years left. I don't think that he's washed. I think he's got some really good years left. And as a defender, these are the games that you take pride in. As a defender, this is how you make your mark. And to come and again, I understand that at some point you're going to get cooked as a defender. That happens in the regular season. When I'm in the playoffs, this is where I make my mark. I can't have a matchup where I get destroyed by a guy. Because when I think about the all-time great defenders, when you have that, now that lessens you. Like, for example, Dikembe Mutombo, the defensive player of the year, who comes out and says against Shaq, I don't need a double team. I'm going to cover him one-on-one. For Shaq to destroy him like that, now what happens is that takes away from his level of invincibility. Because now maybe we can go at him. Now maybe we can do the things that we want to do against him, as opposed to when you stand up to a guy like Jrue Holiday should be doing, because that's the tag on him. I understand that Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler, but 56, no, I got 6 fouls, and I'm the best perimeter defender in the game. I have to at some point slow him down. I have to.
Yo, Marz, can you answer the question of who you're more disappointed on, Giannis or Jrue? I'm from this last game.
I'm with Bob. I mean, I know this is what we have to do. We talk about the games. Like, yeah, we have to say, oh, why did the Bucks lose? Sometimes you just lost because the best player on the court was by far the best player on the court. They couldn't do anything with Jimmy Butler. I don't want to say Giannis should have done this and Jrue Holiday should have done this. Jimmy Butler played at an all-time level that not many people in NBA history have reached. That's what happened. So I don't want to say Giannis should have done this in the fourth quarter, or Jrue Holiday should have done this and slowed down Jimmy Butler. Give Jimmy Butler all the credit in the world for what he did. I don't want to take away from his performance by saying this is what the Bucks should have done. It's like taking away from Steph Curry's final performance last year by saying the Boston Celtics should have done this and this. Like, sometimes you just get beaten by an all-time great performance, and I think that's what Jimmy Butler did. So
to look at Jimmy Butler and to look at that performance, in some aspect, you do have to say, yo, they was just better than me tonight, and there was nothing that I could do about it. He was just better than me tonight, and there was nothing I could do about it. Next game, you have to come out with something different. And yes. Jrue Holiday has his performance. I mean, he shot 11. He went 2 for 11 last night on the long ball.
Thank you. Right? I was just about to say that.
He went 2 for 11 last night on the long ball. So the games where he shot double-digit long balls, I mean, he did. I think he went 4 for 10. He's at his best in terms of shooting the long ball in transition, like when it's stop and pop. I think that's where he's at his best. The problem that we have is when he's doing it where he's forcing threes, where he's in traffic. He's not a very good three-point shooter, and he does that from time to time. He's even better in the mid-range, and he went away from that yesterday too.
So then my next question is, obviously, I have to ask it. The Bucks are down 3-1. Is this an impossible feat? Marz, remember I asked you this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I said if they go down 3-1, which I don't think nobody expected this to happen except for Dub and Gabe.
I ain't expected either. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm as surprised.
Even though Dub wanted this matchup, he did not have him smoking him in 5 games.
No, I did not. I would not even think that would have been possible at all. So yeah,
so who all are we taking? Who all are we taking? Or actually, not even who all are we taking? Will the Bucks be able to piece everything together? Because they're in shambles right now. Can they put everything back together and come back?
I have this going 7 games. Whether or not they win the game 7, I don't know. But I have the series going to 7 games. I think the Bucks win the next 2, in part because the Miami Heat offense outside of Jimmy Butler is still egregious. Like, Duncan Robinson's been shooting. Duncan Robinson's been shooting great, but the offense outside of Jimmy Butler has been terrible. So I can't rely on Jimmy Butler to give me 50 a night. I'm sorry, Jimmy Butler. I don't think you can do that.
Damn, 50! Oh my God! What are we asking this dude to do?
So I think they drop the next 2 games, and then game 7. I don't know. It can go either way in game 7, but I think the series does go to game 7.
Yeah.
Dub.
Like I said
now,
before,
be careful, Dub. Be careful right now.
Nah, like I said, there's a TikTok that was made about me. I've seen it. Dang, bro, take me off the full screen, man. I've been on the full screen a lot lately. But there was a TikTok made about me where I said yesterday, on Sunday actually, I said that this could probably go 7 games because I see us winning 1 at home. And we just won 1 at home today. So it's tough. I don't believe in 3-1 leads in this era because at least for my recent lifetime of watching basketball, 3-1 leads are not safe anymore. Like, they're just not. So I'm not going to sit here and just like be like, oh yeah, we're up 3-1. We're going to win. It's done deal. No, bro. In this era, especially, is like, I don't believe in that. So I think we need to stay focused. Jimmy Butler is the type of guy where he's not going to get caught up in the hype. He was going to want to finish the deal. He's going to want to finish the job. And I think they are going to try to give it to the Bucks. But I think this will be a good series. We'll see. I'm not writing the Bucks off. I'm just not. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it.
Ox, talk to us. Down 3-1. Are you putting your money on the Heat?
Yeah, I have to.
What act?
It's 3-1, bro. They got to win 3 straight. They could turn up and win one game. It's just mathematically, I see it happen. It's hard to come back 3-1, win 3 games. To win 3 games straight against anybody is hard to do.
So are you saying that what you got, Jimmy just going crazy for one out of the next 3 games?
Yeah. I mean, obviously for them to win, he'd have to go crazy. But I mean, the whole team, just one game out of the next 3, all they got to do is just turn up. So people hit some shots. Duncan Robinson hit his shots. Kyle Lowry hit his threes. Caleb and Gabe go crazy. Max Strus, all they gotta do is shoot. They can do that. It's just mathematically it's hard for me to say, oh no, they're coming back 3-1. They're down 3-1, bro. It's a wrap.
Yo, Fluent. Paging Sports Fluent.
Let's make sure that we keep our eye on the ball here, which is all the heat is on Milwaukee. Every game is an elimination game. You lose, you out. Mm-hmm. So Miami has 3 games to win 1. That's it. And 2 of those 3 games are on their home floor. All the heat is on the Milwaukee Bucks. Their rotation guys got to play better. They've got nothing from Jay Crowder. Who by the way, they gave up. They've got nothing from Jay Crowder. 0.
I don't know what people expected from him.
Yeah, they gave up. I think they gave up 5 2s for him. 5. I know that's crazy, but they gave up 5 2s for him. They've got nothing from him. Pat Connaughton, his production has gone down as the series has gone on. Grayson Allen, who, with the exception of Chris Paul, I think has the easiest job in the NBA, has also underperformed. So these guys need to play better in order for this series to get extended. The heat is on them because I think Giannis is going to give you what Giannis gives you. I think that those guys are going to be the difference in them winning and losing this series.
So do they give them that?
It's been a good 24 hours, man. It's been a really good 24 hours.
It has been.
Bro.
No,
oh my God.
I was in a live stream last night watching this, and I actually turned it off because I didn't have anything to say. Because I was in amazement with this dude. I'm sitting here watching this going, what am I watching right now? This is incredible.
Listen,
this dude is fantastic.
I'm gonna start recording myself whenever I'm watching games like that, because if the things I was saying and the way I act in games like that, bro, y'all just gotta see it to believe it, bro.
When he made those back-to-back threes, Jesus Christ.
Bro, I went nuclear. I was
that second one was a free. I don't care. That was a free.
Me too. It was back-to-back threes.
They might as well have gave him 3.
They should have, bro. That shit was crazy, bro. I start talking to myself, chill. I start talking like I'm in the huddle. I'd be like, nah, bro, do this. Nah, it's different, bro. I'm gonna record myself next time. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Like I said, that's how I am right now. That's what I was doing. I was just sitting there like this. What am I watching right now? This is incredible. And like I said, I've seen all-time great performances where guys go back to back. I've seen Isaiah Thomas go for 25 in the third quarter in the NBA Finals. I did see that. I saw Bird and Dominique Wilkins get it on. Right? I saw Jordan and Malone. I seen guys go back and forth with each other. That right there, I'm watching Giannis, and he just looked like he didn't want anything to do with this dude. Nothing.
Now let me ask y'all this: which one was better, Game 6 LeBron against Boston, or Game 4 Jimmy Butler against the Bucks?
I think there's 2 ways to look at it. The stakes in terms of what the game meant and the rounds it was in.
Yo, Dub, come back.
My bad.
I'm working. What are you doing, Pops? I'm working right now. You wow.
That's my little bro. Look at
Let
it,
him on the
bro.
cam.
Hey, big bro. I'm working right now, big bro. What you doing? I'm working right now, big bro. What you doing? Hey, bro, I'm working. What you doing? Yo, you wow right now.
Give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right. Go ahead, Marz.
I'm sorry, boss.
Jesus. I think there's two ways to look at it. You can look at it from like what the game meant and the significance of it, like conference finals against the Boston Celtics super team, down 3-2. The significance, I think LeBron did it in a more significant moment. But in terms of who just played better in the game, I think Jimmy Butler played better than LeBron James did that game. But I think LeBron James did it in a bigger moment and it meant more.
That might be fair. That might be fair. So to add to that question, Marz, the greatest playoff performance that you've seen, where does this rank?
Okay, it's not over Draymond Green in Game 7, obviously. But okay, so you got LeBron Game 1 2018. Kobe when he had that 50 against Phoenix in 06. I think that was Game 6. Game 5, one of those games. He had that 50 against Phoenix.
I think it was Game 6. He went for 50.
It might have been. Someone in the chat can say what game that was.
It was Game 6.
Kevin Durant against Milwaukee Game 5. That 49 whatever triple-double. Giannis Game 6 of the finals. This Jimmy Butler game. LeBron against Boston. It's in like the top 7 or 8 of games I've seen, but I don't have the extensive history of.
Definitely,
like, there's games I've seen like going back and I've watched, but that's different to like seeing it like within the moment, kind of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I could go back and say, I saw Michael Jordan game. What game was it? 1993 finals. He had like 50 something.
Yeah, 55 in Game 4.
Yeah, I've seen that game, but like I saw that game 25 years later. So it's like So of the games I've seen, it's in like the top 7 or 8. I can't name many. Oh, Damian Lillard against Denver, 2021. That's up there.
He went for 55 or 56, something like that. He went for 55
and like 12 threes or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in like the top 7 or 8, guaranteed to me.
That's fair. That's fair. Tone, best.
Only because he's saying from what he's seen, like all time, it's top 25. But there's a lot of big games like that we didn't like. He didn't mention because he didn't see it, right? The closeout game for Magic in the 1980 finals for the Lakers because he didn't see it. There's a lot of games. There's games that we didn't see. Like Wilt put up some big games. Stockton put up some big games. I want to say, didn't Tim Duncan? No.
Yeah, Tim Duncan closeout game 2003.
Yeah, like there's a lot of games that, if you go back and look, we probably even forgot some of them.
Yeah.
So that's why I say top 25, top 20 makes, Jordan's 63-point game.
Elgin Baylor, 61.
Elgin Baylor, 61. Like, so there's a lot of games that, again, I didn't see Elgin Baylor's game, but he dropped 61.
But with that being said, let's put it into context, Tone. So we're talking about the magnitude of the game. That's number one. We're talking about the magnitude of the game. We're talking about whether you won or whether you lost. So Jordan going off for 63. I mean, they lost to the Celtics.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, he goes off for 56. Not only do they win, it's against the number 1 seed, not in the Eastern Conference, but in the NBA, who's picked to win the NBA championship. And now we got these dudes on the verge of elimination. But
it's also the first round. Like no one mentioned, was it the Western Conference Finals against Seattle where Barkley goes for a 40-point triple-double? Like there were some bigger magnitude games.
That was Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals.
There you go.
That was Game 7,
moment, right? That's a bigger moment.
He went 40. He went 44 and 24 that game. Yeah, he did.
So when it's the first round, I get it, but still, you're the 8 seed versus the 1. So I bump it up for that. I knock it because it's the first round. I bump it up because it was in a win, like you said, and against the number 1 seed. So I think, like I said, it might even be top 20. It might even be top 20.
Ron, when you think about all-time great performances, they're performances that we're going to remember in years to come, right? So, I mean, I remember Barkley putting 56 on Chris Webber on the road in the playoffs in 94. I remember that, right? I remember Olajuwon going for 49 and 26 in Game 7 in the Western Conference semifinals. Boy, I mean, that's a pretty, even though they lost, but Game 7 on the road, he goes for 49 and 26. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. When I think about what Jimmy Butler did at home against arguably the best team in the league that's picked to go to the NBA Finals, the significance of that. When I think about James, 45 and 15, Chamberlain's the only other guy to do something like that in a playoff game. on the road. He's the only other guy to do something like that. So when I think about what Jimmy Butler did, the significance of it, it ranks up there. It ranks up there pretty high.
I would say all those games that you guys have mentioned
sorry,
are
Bob.
definitely there.
I was reminded, someone messaged me. Don't forget, is what they said. Don't forget Russell's 30 points, 40 rebounds in Game 7 against the Lakers.
Not in the playoffs, in the NBA Finals, which is still a record.
Best Game 7 player of all time.
Well, there you go. So that's when I say, like, people probably like, you're crazy, top 25. There's a lot of games we're probably not thinking about. So
top 25 is a safe estimate. Or if we go all time,
I mean that's a safe estimate. It is, but
like,
it's like for me, if I go off the games that I've seen, it's definitely top 10.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
But you got to also remember this. For me, it's above all the ones that lost. Like all the games where you lost, you're on the second end of this list.
You lost, yeah.
You don't applaud losing, right?
I can get with that. Like LeBron's 51-8-8 game 1. It's like you lost. So it's like how much does that?
It's fire. Like so
that game was wild. That game was crazy.
I agree.
It's definitely a top performance, but it's like if you lost,
that game takes away from it. It does take away from it.
I'm not gonna lie. That game.
I don't want to just kill the whole game.
That game's still one of the greatest games I've ever seen.
I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I just want to be clear though. So if you play exceptionally and your team loses, you're knocking.
Well, here's the thing, though, Tone. If you play exceptional and your team wins off the strength of what you did, because what Buckets did last night, if he doesn't do that, they don't win. They do not win. So if you're playing exceptional and you still lose, I mean, those two things are two different things.
So for example, Jerry West, Game 7, wins the Finals MVP. We know after Game 6, drops a 40-point triple-double in Game 7 of the Finals, but the Lakers still lose by 2. We're knocking him.
No, it's not.
I have to.
It's a difference because I think we all agree that's an all-time great game. But compared to the other all-time great games, you're just going to favor the ones where they came out with.
No, I'm saying I'm saying Game 7 of the NBA Finals, a 40 triple-double and a 2-point loss. Because he said, I'm putting Jimmy Butler's over all of the ones that lost.
Right.
So
I am.
Jimmy Butler's win in round 1 over Game 7 NBA Final, 40-point triple-double and a 2-point loss in Game 7 of the NBA Final.
I have to because I have to, and I'll tell you why.
This question.
I have to, and the reason why is because him winning that game makes it to where they're up 3-1. If it was tied 2-2, there would be very little chance that they could pull this one out. That game, like you said, it was an 8-1. That propelled them to 3-1. But it's looking to me like Miami's going to win this series. On top of that, he lost. Like. You know what I'm saying? If you would have got 2 more points, you know what I'm saying, you would have got the hardware. It's, like
let's not leave out.
Never say anything about anyone who loses a game or a series to me ever again, though, Bob.
Floyd, now you're acting like low. Now you don't do that.
Do you praise Bobby? Do you praise Jimmy Butler's performance in 2020 in the finals?
I mean the games that they won. I mean he had a hell of a performance. I'm not saying that Jerry West's performance isn't still a top 25 performance of great performances. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that won are in the top half. The ones that lost are in the second half of the list. That's all.
All right.
And Tone, don't leave out the fact that Jerry Chamberlain went 9 for 10 that game. Pass the basketball. How about that?
Chamberlain's a fraud, man. Going down.
Pass the basketball. He went 9 for 10.
Nah.
Give me a break.
Pass it to the black hole. Get out of here.
Pass the basketball.
Chamberlain saw where the game was going until like he had a knee injury and came out of the game, man. Not moving me. Fraud.
Just so you know, Marz is just so you guys know, Marz trolling right now. So put the troll alert in the I don't know what's going on in the chat.
Troll alert.
Put the troll alert because that's what Marz is doing right
He
now.
did leave the game with a knee injury.
That troll's
is the logo and not Chamberlain.
Chamberlain asked to come back. He asked to come back too. It's not like it's not like he left the game. It's not like he left the game.
They knew they were better off without him.
I just need a minute to sit down. Let me get myself together. All right, I'm ready to go. Now we good without you. Yeah, how'd that go?
Chamberlain's like Russell Westbrook. A lot of stats, doesn't win.
John Havlicek was killing in that fourth quarter as well of that game. I think he should have been the Finals MVP, to be honest. But
the problem is that they gave it to Jerry West before Game 7.
Because they thought the Lakers were just going to see it out, and it makes sense. They thought
the home team won every game that series, so they just assumed.
The Lakers are going to win.
That's a dumb, stupid assumption.
It
was the first time they'd ever done it, so they clearly didn't know what it was.
Right. They know what they would do. Okay, we can't do that again.
They realized.
Why would you give the ball though? Why would you give the ball to somebody who's averaging 11 points though?
On 6 shots, by the way.
Yeah,
don't leave that part out.
11 points is crazy.
It's very important to mention that. It's very important to mention that. On 6 shots, not only on 6 shots, 9 for 10 in Game 7. He only missed 1 shot.
I'm just saying.
11 points on the championship team is very important, though.
And this is
I'm not saying it's not.
And on top of that, we ain't talking about a deficient offensive player. We're talking about Chamberlain.
Hey, Chamberlain wasn't Chamberlain at that time. He wasn't the same.
Yes, he still was.
He was good. He was good.
He was the best or the second best defender in the league at that point. Yeah. Offensively, from what I've seen, like of the 69 season, watching Wilt Chamberlain, it looked to me like he was only taking shots if they were wide open. From what I saw, I don't know if he was trying to boost his field goal percentage or what, but he didn't look like he was taking shots unless they were wide open. So that's a big issue I had with him, especially like in the playoffs where every time I watched him, if he wasn't wide open under the basket, he wouldn't take shots. He would just stand up and wait for people to move around him. Usually Jerry West, and then Jerry West would just take like a fadeaway jump shot over 2 people and then make it most of the time.
What I want to know is why didn't they just do hack at Chamberlain? He was shooting 36% from the free throw line.
Well, he wasn't shooting. What are we gonna hack him for?
Teams did do that a lot. They did like the series that
embarrassing.
Teams did just foul Wilt Chamberlain and send him to the free throw line, and it worked quite often because for some reason he could. Well, not for some reason, he just couldn't make free throws.
No, he just.
I got
another flaw in his game.
I know you want to move on, Ron, but I got a question for the panel. Did Jimmy empty it yesterday? Because I saw Jimmy Butler in Game 5 when he went for 36 against the Lakers in the finals, and then the next game he had nothing left. Did he empty it yesterday?
Oh no, he ain't empty it. No, not yet.
Are you sure up?
Oh no, he ain't empty it. He got a lot in there. That's nothing but pure testosterone in there, bro.
I don't know, Marz. That sound like
that because I didn't get a chance to answer the previous question Ron asked. I think he did. I think you're going to see a Bucks like win big in Game 5, but actually, I think Miami now wins this in 6 at home.
And even then, Miami
that's a good point. I saw the TikTok clip when you go,
yeah.
I like that. That was a good.
And
TikTok
even
I like it.
I got you. Even then, in Miami, that was after playing like 18 playoff games. He's only in Game 4 right now.
Right. All right.
So this is different.
So we still got some time left.
Still got some time before he gasses out.
All right.
I'm with you. If he keeps playing like this, he's gonna gas out eventually. Right. I don't know if he's gonna gas out yet.
I think to use his reference, I think he shoots blanks in Game 5 and comes back in Game 6.
We shall see.
If I'm Spo, I'm making this decision at halftime, whether how much to just sit Jimmy down, and let him rest.
If we getting smoked, if it's the middle of the third quarter, if we getting smoked in the middle of the third quarter, I'm yanking everybody.
Game 5 might just be a gimme game for the Bucks.
For real, if it gets too, I think
it's gonna be double digit. Like it's gonna be a big.
If they lose, I am out and I'm in the bar and I'm grabbing everything in sight. I don't give a damn. I don't care.
What do you guys do in Philly? You put the what did they put on the poles to make sure y'all didn't climb?
Grease. They put grease. I'm gonna be climbing the poles. Nah, I won't be doing that in Philly. They'll be looking at me like I'm crazy because Philly ain't in nothing right now.
Yeah, okay, so chat, we got it. Fluent thinks he's shooting blanks, and Dub said that's nothing but pure testosterone coming out. All right, let's continue to move on. Yo, we got a lot of super chats. I want to go ahead and run through all of these because we have some beautiful fans that tune into us. So we want to show our appreciation back to you guys. Mm-hmm. Jeremy Sanchez said, all this talk about the Bucks, what's the excuse now? And y'all delusional if y'all think the Knicks beating the Heat, we have their number.
Playoff Julius is going to playoff Julius. I don't know when it's going to happen. They're going to lose eventually because of him. They're getting through the Cavs right now. Good for them. They won't be able to overcome everyone with playoff Julius. So
the Cavs like playoff Julius versus playoff Jimmy.
Yeah, like that's a no contest right there.
Marz, I think you discounting Julius Randle in the playoffs, and I understand.
Hell no!
I'll listen to the explanation. I'll listen.
Here's why, and the reason why I saw his playoff performance against Atlanta. No question about that. Mm-hmm. Thumbs down, no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. But what I can't discount that he is going up against arguably the best defensive player in the game, who's altered his game, who's altered his shot. We're talking about a Cleveland Cavaliers team that's held the Knicks under 100. So they're doing a great job on them defensively. And Evan Mobley, who's pushing Julius Randle away from the basket, where he's not very good shooting the mid-range over a guy like Evan Mobley. And now he's pushing him even further away from the basket where he's shooting threes. I think I mentioned he's shooting 2 for 14 in the last 2 games on a long ball. So when you got a guy like Evan Mobley contesting shots that far away from the basket on you, and he can't take him to the basket, and the reason why he can't take him to the basket is because he's been bodying him. He's been getting tougher, and he's been doing, and because he's doing those things, he's been able to slow Julius Randle down. I can get with you with playing against Atlanta. That was thumbs down, no question about that. I think this situation against Cleveland, it's a better defensive team, and he's going up against a better defender.
I agree. Hold on. But in round two, he's going to go up against Bam Adebayo,
right?
Giannis and Brook Lopez. He's going to have the same problems now.
Yes,
he is. So Julius is going to play with Julius.
Wait, are you letting a guy who went 25, 10, and 4 in the regular season off the hook when he's going 14 7 and 2 in the playoffs?
No. Well, I expected this.
24, 10, and 25, 10, and 4 in the regular season. 14, 7, and 2 in the playoffs.
I'm not letting him off the hook. What I am is I'm giving you context to why he's playing this way in the playoffs.
A 10-point drop is crazy.
But I knew this was going to happen.
And again, we're going up against arguably the defensive player of the year, the best defensive player in the game. This is what I'm talking about when I say if you are what you say you are, prove it.
But
I love that.
Points?
I love that.
I'm just saying defense. I understand defense go from 25 to 20, 19, 10 rebounds goes to 7. Cool. 25 to 14, like
132. 13200 wants to impede in the argument and say, don't ignore the fact that Randle has been dealing with an ankle injury, plus Dillon arguably with the best defender in the NBA.
I agree. I agree with the ankle. I said it yesterday. The ankle injury is a valid thing to defend.
Damn about that ankle, Julius.
However,
what does Chilltown always say, Marz?
If you're out there playing, you're able to play. If you're out there playing, you're able to play.
If you step on the floor, you telling me you're ready to go.
And I'm sorry, even with a good ankle, he's not gonna be just playing better because he's still not turning the corner on Evan Mobley.
I'm gonna turn into the stats guy. He went from shooting 46% to 32%, 35% from 3 to 25% from 3. Like everything
against the best defensive player in the game. Tone, stop making it sound like he's just going up against another playoff performer.
Everything gets cut in half.
We're talking about a guy. We're talking about a guy in Evan Mobley who last year, before he got hurt, he was on his way to being an all-league defender, the first guy to do that since Tim Duncan as a rookie. That's number one. And he improved this year as a defender. He finished top 3 in the game. He finished top 3 in the game in Defensive Player of the Year. Now, I want to take the Defensive Player of the Year off the table just for a second because I think about Evan Mobley as a defender, and I think about how versatile he is, how smart he is, how he pushes guys away from the basket, how he gets guys off their game. Can I think of a guy, because I know what you're getting ready to ask me, can I think of a guy who's made another guy's performance drop by minus 10 in the playoffs?
Half.
Let's see here. Have I seen somebody do that? An elite player make their performance.
If we're going
as a defender,
if we're going to say Randall's blah, then we don't have to have this conversation. But if we're going to say he's a star,
right?
Give me another star player whose numbers, shooting percentage, 3-point scoring, rebounding, assists, everything is like half when someone is defending him in the playoffs, and that we give and we praise them.
We don't. Well, we don't.
Not praise them, but we still look at them in the highlight.
We don't tear them down because
we don't tear them down. So when I think about a guy who's had just a terrible performance in the playoffs, I mean, Giannis was pretty bad in 2019 when he went up against Toronto. He was pretty bad in that series. How about Damian Lillard in 2018 when Drew Holiday shut the door on him? I don't know if it was half, but he basically shut the door on him.
It wasn't half, but yeah.
Damian Lillard will tell us that he got blitzed. A lot of those coverages was one-on-one. A lot of those coverages were one-on-one with him. But I don't know if I'm going to go as far as half, Tone, but the guys that come to mind, I think about Giannis. I think about Damian Lillard. How about James? What
do we say about all those guys' performances? We kill them for it.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. We should kill Randle for it too.
Unless you expected it to happen and then you don't hold it against
Okay,
me.
yes, Marz, we get it. You knew it was coming. Yes, Marz. Yes,
Hey, Marz, you know what? Don't take all that credit. It was me and Marz. Me and Marz was in that train together. Me and Marz was in that train together.
We tried telling people.
It's not a one-way street, dog.
We tried
Yo,
telling people.
me and Marz have been caping for this for months. And months.
I was just waiting for the playoffs to prove me right. I don't care who he was going against. I knew that this was going to happen.
Are you saying you listen to Open Gym?
Y'all need, hey, open gym right now. Predictions is killing right now. Marz with Julius Randle, me with the Bucks. What else we got, Marz? What else you got? James Harden being frauding.
Okay, first of all, James Harden. That's not.
I'm killing.
That's like saying the sun coming up tomorrow.
That's the same with Julius Randle. Julius Randle is going to play bad in the playoffs.
Miami
is that saying the sun is going to come up tomorrow?
Miami, in your world, Miami makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, they're going up against the Sixers.
Yeah.
Does Jimmy Butler show them they made a mistake keeping Tobias Harris?
He did it last year, Tone.
Nah, Embiid cooks him. Embiid
did it last year.
Embiid's hurt, Marz. He's
gonna recover. He's gonna recover.
Nah.
He always hurt.
I don't see the Sixers
Are we
making the
saying
finals,
that the Heat have a legit shot at like maybe doing this?
No, Boston destroyed them in the conference finals. But
well, now just so you guys know, since 2020, and I'm not the stat guy, but the winner of the Bucks Heat series wins the Eastern Conference Championship in the last 2 times that they've been. So in 2020, Miami drops them. What happened to Miami? They're in the NBA Finals. In 2020 and 21, the Bucks dropped Miami. What happened to the Bucks? They're in the NBA Finals. That's all I'm going to say about that.
So Marz, this is what happens when Fluent and Chill's trying to compete with Open Gym's prediction record. They're going to try to make things like this and try to connect the dots. Nah, it don't work like that. Man.
No, I'm not trying to connect the dots. No, I'm not.
We're not the.
I'm not trying to put. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You look like a degenerate with that hat on. Golly. My bad. I'm playing. My bad.
I was up all night.
That was actually funny.
My dog got stung.
Thank you, Chill. I got you. My bad.
So,
been having a bad
play
day.
of Julius there.
I've been having a great day. I'm high as hell right. Well, no, I'm not high, but I'm.
No, you are. It's okay, man. It's okay.
Got skunked. Some kid.
What?
Son's hurt.
These 24 hours.
A ton of stuff
24 hours
going
been
on.
great.
Half
These
an
24 hours been great, man.
Half an ounce.
All right.
You gonna have me tripping, bro, if I start getting back into it, man.
But I do before I read the next super chat, I do have to say, like, this is crazy right now. Because you got to understand that these are 2 series that we did not see this coming from a mile away. The Knicks being up 3-1 and the Heat being up 3-1, and then potentially gearing to play each other next. So nobody was talking about, we're gonna have a Knicks and Heat semifinals. Nobody was saying that. Or round
Which
2.
by the way, Adam Silver.
Yeah,
Adam Silver is loving this. He wants a Knicks Heat semi. Oh, he absolutely.
I'm loving it if it's like we used to get in the 90s.
That's what I'm talking about, Tom. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
The way these teams play defense, it might be like that.
It might be. I
Yes.
know
It might be like that.
There's no way that we won't have there's no way we won't have fireworks in this series, which is what Adam Silver wants. No doubt about that.
We're gonna see Tibbs wrapping his arms around one of the players' legs to try to keep.
I don't know if we're going that far, but again, this series, I don't think this series is over. I'm not going that far to say this series is over, but all the heat's on Milwaukee. Every game is an elimination game.
You're down 3-1
Every last one of
on
them.
you, yeah.
Every last one of them.
Yo, Ticket, what's going on? Ticket, word on the streets is you running from the grind.
Nah, he's not doing
Are you ducking somebody, Ticket?
No. We've talked already, man. He ain't ducking nobody.
All right. The chat thinks otherwise. All right, well, until Ticket taps back in with us, let's go ahead and jump into some more super chats. Indoor Voices said, LeBron, there he goes. LeBron, so far in these playoffs, is playing within the system and playing good defense. He's not forcing shots. He's letting his squad cook. Good for LA?
Absolutely, it is. Sure.
Yeah, he's forced.
I agree with the first part. The defensive part.
Shut it up! Shut it up!
I'm not gonna go.
Say I'm ducking. Who said I'm ducking?
Come on, Ron. Why'd you guys say that,
Said you're
bro?
ducking the chat.
Here we go.
There we
Here we go. Dub with the toxicity. He needed.
I didn't even say anything.
Dub
We've had
needs it.
numerous conversations already, man. We're fine.
Ticket keep going in and out. He definitely want to get in here. But anyway, Tone, as you were saying.
No, I was just saying, maybe I'm nitpicking. I'm not as high on the defense I've seen. The playing within the system, that other stuff, yes, absolutely. But there's a couple plays last night, late in the fourth quarter, where he just stood there and was like, dunk, and he looked at the other defender and like shrugged his shoulders. I'm like, dude, step in front of the dude. But then he is taking some charges. So there's
Hey, hold on, Floyd. You said I was ducking?
No,
not. I never said
Floyd.
That was somebody who said that in the chat about you.
No,
he ain't say that.
Was that you, Marz?
No.
Send him to hell. Send him to hell. Send him to hell.
Hey, that was you. That was you. Hey, you know what? I take that L. I take that L. No problem.
To be honest. What did he?
Ticket of all the people that don't duck smoke, we know for a fact that you keep a pair of boxing gloves in the trunk of the car. So we ain't tripping on that. We already know what time it is.
Take it like a firefighter. He run into that smoke. I respect.
We know what that is.
That man is in the airport.
That's super chat.
Airport yelling at his damn phone right now.
That super chat that you just had up about George Gervin. I mean, I don't think George Gervin is a top 10 scorer all time, but I think we can have a conversation about him being a top 15 scorer. I don't think he was that good. I mean, he was awesome. George Gervin was awesome. But when I think about the all-time great scorers, I don't think he's underrated as a scorer, depending on where you put him, right? So when you think about guys in the 80s, like he wasn't better than Jordan. I don't think he was better than Dominique Wilkins. I don't think he was better than Adrian Dantley. That's just me. I think he was a better athlete, but I don't think he was better than Adrian Dantley.
Wait, if George Gervin's around top 15, where do you have Dominique Wilkins?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I got Dominique Wilkins right around top 10.
Oof.
I think we can have a conversation about Nick being the top 10 scorer. Who do you think was chasing Jordan all of them years for the scoring title when Jordan was winning in the 80s?
Yeah, like if it was
Jordan, Jay was averaging 35, Nick was averaging 32, Jay was averaging 37. I mean, that's who he was chasing all of those years.
Wilkins would have like 6 or 7 scoring titles if it's not for Jordan. So like let's
yeah. He deserves respect.
Right.
Top 10, Marz. What you about to say?
I was gonna ask first. I don't know how many scoring titles George Gervin has. I think he has like 3 or 4. Right?
I think 3. He might have 4. Marz.
I think it's 4.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head.
Where do you have James Harden as a scorer?
Oh my God, Marz! I was thinking the same exact.
You could also make the argument that James Harden is a top 10 scorer too.
Because I got George Gervin and James Harden like similar to each other. And for me, the biggest issue with James Harden is playoff translation. I think George Gervin, the playoff translation issue with him is I just don't think there's a large sample size because he wasn't making deep runs with the Spurs consistently.
Right.
So you're kind of lacking like the sample size. Mm-hmm. But in terms of his scoring Arsenal, working in the mid-range, working around the rim, he was a good athlete, which like when I went back and watched him, I was surprised about that. I didn't know he was a good athlete like that. So that was a surprise. But the issue with George Gervin is the volume in the playoffs, like how many games there are to watch. And James Harden is just, it falls off in the playoffs. So that's why I wanted to ask, like, how much do you value the playoff like translation when you think about these guys as all-time scorers?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Marz, because like if you mentioned if you remember the conversation that Lo and I had when we were talking about John Stockton with his ability to pass the basketball. I care about what you did, I care about how you did it, and I care about when you did it. So you as a scorer, don't get me wrong, I can appreciate you going off in January and in February. But like I said, we talked about this earlier. I watched Dominique go toe-to-toe with Larry Bird, right? I watched Dominique drop the bad boy Pistons. I watched Dominique in the playoffs go off on teams. And in the process of him going off on teams, elevate him as a scorer. So when I think about how awesome he was as a scorer, great transition player, could shoot the mid-range, will dunk on anybody, great finisher around the rim. I think about him when I mention this to people in the past, when Dominique retired, there's only 7 guys in NBA history that scored more points than him. That's it. So because when I think about stuff like that, and just so you know, Marz, he wasn't voted as a top 50 player after that too, by the way, which was nuts to me when I found that out. Yeah, he wasn't voted as a top 50 player. But with that being said, you can make the argument we live in a different era, so we see a lot of wide open basketball. And I'm thinking to myself, if Dominique Wilkins played in this era, he would be incredible. So the guys that you like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and guys like that averaging 27, 28, Nick would be a 30-a-game guy in this era without a doubt. 100%.
George Gervin just reminds me of like a prototype of KD. Like that's what he reminds me of. He's like KD. He's like the 80s version. If you could just get KD an early version, I think that's what George Gervin was. I have him in very high regard as a scorer. I don't think I'd have him top 10 because you got guys like Kareem, Steph, Kobe. Like, there's a lot of great guys.
Right.
But I think in like that 11 to 15 range with James Harden, I don't know if Dominique's in there, but George Gervin, I think Karl Malone might be in that 11 to 15 range for me. I don't think he would get in the top 10 for me. Hakeem.
What do you have, Dominique?
Dominique is probably top 20. I don't know if I'd have him top 15 though.
Because the whole thing, Showtime's been talking about Dominique being up this high. Dominique, you're saying Dominique is a better scorer than George Gervin, right?
I'm not saying that.
No, not you, Marz. No. Showtime.
I think he is, yes.
Oof.
Yeah, that's what he's arguing, Marz. He's not talking about George Gervin like that.
Maybe I have to watch some more Dominique Wilkins.
You know what? I've said this as Phil would say. I've done this one time or two times. I say it all the time. I think Dominique is one of the most underrated players because he was on a bad team, because he played in an era where there were so many superstars that were better than him. Let's just be honest, right? Getting all the hardware, all the MVPs, all the scoring titles. We don't realize how good he was. That's why I think he's so underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Chota, who's your best scorer in NBA history for you?
Jordan.
And I'm guessing LeBron's number 2?
Yes.
Okay.
And Kareem's number 3?
No, I think I got Jabbar at 4.
Who's 3?
I think I had Brian at. I think I had KD at 3. I had Jabbar at 4, and I got Brian at 5.
And where's Karl Malone?
I think I had Karl Malone from a production standpoint. I think I had Karl Malone. I had him right outside the top 10.
That's about where I am.
Not that far though. When I say top 10, I'm talking like 11, maybe even top 10. I mean, for a guy to average 28 a game for 11 years, that's pretty difficult to come across.
What's your top 10? Who's your top 10 scores?
Here we go.
Damn, you're asking him to come up with that off the top.
I mean, I keep hearing guys in 11 to 15 range, and I'm I got to figure out what this is.
So Jordan at 1.
It's ready. Jeez.
Jordan at 1, James at 2, KD at 3, Jabbar at 4, Brian at 5. Let's see, who do I have at 6?
I'd be really happy that was your your list of top players of all time. I'd be ecstatic.
I'm sure you'd love that.
It sounds like a good list.
I'm sure you'd love
really
that. But then I got to start thinking about guys like Carmelo Anthony, Dominique Wilkins, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq. Then it gets Malone,
Dirk
Nowitzki, sure.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm not hearing any Baylor.
Third.
Oh, Wilt. You forgot Wilt.
That's why I got a 6. Wilt. I had Wilt at 6. I'm sorry. That's why I had Wilt. I had Wilt at 6. Okay. I had Wilt at 6. Nick at 4. Nick at 7. I had Carmelo Anthony at 8.
Wow.
I had
Nick over Melo.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony.
Hell yeah.
Of course you say that, Phil.
Yeah.
Melo.
Yeah, you gonna hate Melo, man.
Let's see.
I'm realistic about Melo.
I gotta write this down. I'm thinking about it.
That's hard. That's hard to come up with.
I'm thinking about it off the top of my head. I apologize.
Did you say T-Mac?
Dub put me on the spot. I just came up.
I was just curious.
It actually was a super chat, and you sufficed most of it.
Yeah.
He gave you a top 5.
Elgin Baylor, anyone?
Elgin Baylor's not over Jerry West.
T-Mac.
Yeah.
T-Mac.
I'll give you a top 10. I'm not ranking the older guys though, so you guys are gonna be mad.
Wow,
How old is old?
Elgin Baylor,
Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor,
third highest scorer ever in the history of basketball, gets no love as a scorer. That's crazy.
He's not over Jerry West. That's all I know.
I'll have I'll include the big men in as a mix. So I have Kobe, MJ. I have Kobe, MJ.
Don't say LeBron. You don't have LeBron, don't you?
No, I don't. I don't have LeBron. It's Kobe, MJ, Kevin Durant. We're gonna have Curry, Kyrie, Hakeem, Shaq. This isn't even in order. I'm just saying names right now.
You're at 6 names.
Top 3. I'm at 7. I'm at 7.
Oh, 7 names.
Curry in the top 10 too.
I'm gonna put Allen Iverson in there too.
Wow.
I'll put James Harden in there too. Wow. I'll probably have Melo. Oh, did I say Kyrie? I thought I said Kyrie.
You said Kyrie. You said Kyrie.
Oh,
everyone's mad at you for saying Kyrie. That's why they're questioning.
Oh yeah, I'm putting Kyrie in there. Yeah,
Kyrie over LeBron is crazy.
It's Hezzy Tween, bro.
Yeah, that's a bull don't stop list.
Tracy McGrady and honorable
LeBron's
mention.
not there. So obviously Kareem isn't there because they're just longevity, right? They stink as scorers.
No, it's just they don't have the versatility.
Versatility. I'm a versatility merchant, man.
Wait, so no Hakeem? Or did you say Hakeem?
I said Hakeem. What's
Embiid? What's Embiid got to do?
Oh, Embiid, I gotta see Embiid. He keeps getting hurt in the playoffs, bro. It gets me mad. Like, come on, bro. You keep getting hurt, bro. How can I rank you? Like, how
he said James Harden. I said James Harden. I said Kyrie. I didn't have Kareem. Didn't have LeBron up in there.
Yeah.
Every time when I watch
make sure you clip this top 10 you gave. Make sure you clip.
I don't clip the panel. I don't.
You have a message. You have a message here from Fluent Jr. He said,
"Stop it. Get some help."
Yeah, he's not up there, man. LeBron's not up there, man. I'm sorry. I hate to disappoint. Every time I watch, even when I'm watching LeBron James now, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, you got no bag on you, bro. Like, none of your moves. It's like I'm not even.
But see, Dub, that's the thing. That's the thing. Scoring is not bag.
I'm sorry.
Scoring is bag to Dub.
That's how I rate it.
No, I get it. I get it.
So hold on. I just want to be clear. So if you Dub shoots threes, shoots the midi, has a good dunk, and you score 15 points a game, 10,000 for your career, and all I do is skyhook, nothing else, and I average 25 a game and 30,000 for my career, you're a better scorer than me?
You at least got to. You can't be just having 15. You at least got to be like 23, 24, 25 points per game. But
that's.
I mean, yeah. There's no one on Dub's list who's like 15 point per game.
Yeah, nobody's at 15 points per game.
Fine, 20 a game, and I'm averaging 25 a game.
Nah, it's got to be like 23, 24, 25.
But you got Carmelo.
Again, I also think me particularly,
right?
I also care about efficiency too. I mean, like I said, efficiency does matter. Efficiency matters, but I gotta go write that down. So Dub gonna put me on the spot, and I definitely gotta go write that down, and I'd like to do that again. I would like to do that again. No
I
doubt.
knew y'all weren't gonna like my list. If you want me to rank the way y'all want me to rank, hey,
no. It's scorers. It's scorers.
I'm just trying to understand how you rank them. That's all.
I rank score. I care about your bag, no question about that. But I also care about what you produced. I care about that, and I care about what you produced. I care about how you did it, and I care about when you did it. So, for a guy like LeBron James, whose production went up in the playoffs, like that matters. Like he averages the most points in NBA history in Game 7. No player in NBA history averages more points in Game 7 than James. He averages almost 34 a game in Game 7.
No one needs as many Game 7s either.
Actually, they do. Yes, they do, Tone. Yes, they do.
I feel you, but there's a reason.
The
bag. There's a reason why they need space.
You can't be a top 10 scorer and they go onto your ball screens, man. It just doesn't hit. It just doesn't hit the same.
Which also, I'm glad you mentioned that too, Marz, because that's why he. I remember having this conversation because that's why he put the mid-range in his game, which I think is crazy to me, which is why he scored so many points, because guys would rather, I'm not going to go over the top. I'm going to go under the ball screen. And he would knock down that mid-range, which is where it started to, which is, you know what? We got to start challenging his mid-range because he had gotten a lot better. There's a reason why they named that place LeBronto, because he had added that 17-foot fall away and he became impossible. Like, how we going to guard him now? If it's bad enough we can't deal with him in transition. His three ball has gotten better. Now he's added a 17-foot fall away to his game. We have no shot.
Yeah, but you got to do it in the US for it to count.
Canada doesn't count, right?
Yeah.
So, sorry, Tone. It doesn't count in Canada. No,
it doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
With all of that, with all of the points, in the Game 7s and all the points in the playoffs,
Canada's almost as bad as the UK, so it does not count.
Yeah, Chilltown. With all the points in the playoffs, with all the points in the Game 7, with all the points all the time, man. Still not top 10 for me, man.
Yo, chat. Who you guys standing with, Canada or the UK? Let us know.
Let's say that was real. Let's say they didn't count. Let's say they didn't count your Canadian points anymore. That'd be like 20,000 of LeBron's points.
Exactly. And LeBron's not top 10 with only 18,000 points.
Right.
And
20,000 of those big ops came against
bag Dub. You want to talk about bag? Watch what LeBron did to Toronto. Like I'm seeing running to his left.
Oh yeah, that was one of the few times I seen. Yeah, that's one of the few times.
But when you're
LeBron
doing
James
it against
career,
DeMar DeRozan,
yeah, like it's so
count.
easy. Like you got the confidence level.
The D is for defense in DeMar.
I've never seen.
Marz,
I will say this, and I will say this: if LeBron James played like that for the majority of his career, I would say he's the best scorer ever, 100%. That
best ever.
Yeah, he may be the best. He was
Marz. If you played DeMar DeRozan in the game in the 15, bro, I think you for sure score 5 points at least, bro. I got you, bro.
I'm betting on myself to win.
All right, well, okay.
If I tell him it's game 7, I think I win. That's all I go to.
All right, fellas. I got a couple more super chats that we gonna go ahead and run through.
Hey, sorry. I just, Jay, I know you like history. Do you know, aside from players who played in the 60s, MVPs who's played the most game 7s?
MVPs who've played the most game 7s.
Yeah.
MVPs who've played the most games.
Not including like the 60s.
Oh, LeBron's one of them.
Mm-hmm. MVPs. Let's see. Willis Reed,
Kobe,
Jabbar,
Charles Barkley played quite a few game 7s.
Bill Russell.
Well, that's the 60s. That's what I said without the 60s.
Oh, you said okay. You're taking the 60s out. So Jabbar, Magic. Who did I just mention? I just said him. Willis Reed.
Rest in peace.
Wes Unseld. Magic. Let's see who else. Bird.
Tim Duncan.
Steph Curry. That's all I got off the top of my head. I could keep going.
Steph Curry's only been in. Steph Curry's only been in 3 games.
Olajuwon too, by the way.
With the exception of Wes Unseld, who has one more. LeBron James, second place.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Look at Wes Unseld, man, the worst MVP in league history, man.
No, it's not.
Who's worse than Wes Unseld?
We've already went down.
Oh, I'm not. No.
Nah.
Okay,
Steve Nash is better than Wes Unseld. We're not doing that. We are not doing that.
Yeah. You can have Moses Malone. Moses Malone is fine.
No,
Wes Unseld is not better than Steve Nash.
No.
We're talking about that back-to-back one again. My bad.
Wes Unseld is not better than Steve Nash.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being better, but I'm not going to do that with you. Yeah. Let's keep going. Yeah, let's keep going.
I was
RTL Faith says, shout out, Dub. Also, I had Jimmy top 10 since last year, but I think now the conversation officially needs to happen. Is Jimmy Butler top 10 right now, today, as in, well, the players remaining?
I keep thinking about this, and I was thinking about this literally on Open Gym with Marz. Bro, I think he's better than Anthony Davis, man. I think we could label Jimmy Butler being better than Anthony Davis. I swear. Even though AD's more talented,
I can't
not even just availability. Have we ever seen AD play out on as high as of a level that Jimmy Butler has been in these past 3 years?
We've seen him play that high, but we've also seen him play a lot lower, like he did this as he's done this season. So
again, this is right now. Like this is just recently, right?
As my co-host,
I think of all top 10 players, I think Anthony Davis is the one that should be targeted.
I'm sorry, no, Marz, you love playoff translation, right?
AD translates to the playoffs. Though.
Okay, but he hasn't translated to.
You can say Jimmy Butler's translated higher than AD, but I'm saying of all the top 10 guys, I don't think AD is the one you should be targeting to put Jimmy over. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we're talking why.
I think you have a better case against a Jason Tatum, against a Damian Lillard.
Why your face like that, Tone? Why is your face like that?
Before Tatum?
I think that's been an argument for a while. I think that's been an argument.
And you know how I feel about Jimmy. You know how I feel about Jason Tatum.
I was surprised.
But you know how I feel about Jason Tatum. But what I've seen Jimmy Butler do over the last 3 years, these look like two different dudes. A dude in the playoffs and a dude in the regular season. They do not look like the same guy. They look like completely different guys.
So
completely different.
We're talking strictly playoffs.
And by the way, Dub,
I'm talking about
2 days ago, if we having this conversation, you were not saying Jimmy Butler.
Hey, you're right. And you're right. And you're right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I don't care. When we talk
the same guy says don't overreact to one game.
You're right.
Does he not say that, Marz? I want to make sure I'm not going crazy. Is that his tagline? Do not overreact to what
you're right. You're right.
It's the same.
But
It's
chill
the same
down.
dude.
When you drop 56 against Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the probably the best player in the league right now, when every single year we're not going to act as if we're in the bubble. Jimmy Butler solo dolo gave AD and LeBron James work, forced them to game 6 alone. What are we talking about? So we talking about
when they put AD on Jimmy Butler, he struggled. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, but we're not worried about that.
Sounds a little fanish.
But listen.
Dub, wait, Dub. I saw a tick. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dub. I saw you on TikTok arguing about Goran Dragic being a better scorer than Jimmy Butler in 2020. So what's going on?
Hey, Buckets. Hey,
Jimmy
Dub.
Butler's better. Jimmy Butler's
No. So what happened? What happened in 2 days?
Jimmy Butler. Hold on. What does that have to do? What does that
because I just heard you talking
about
about carrying in 2020, blah blah blah. And
was Goran Dragic in the finals?
No, he was hurt.
I'm talking about
he got hurt.
And
he got hurt and came back.
I'm talking about in game 6 when they went head to head.
Game 6, Jimmy Butler didn't play good.
Oh no! I'm talking about in those 6 games, Jimmy Butler without Goran Dragic, without Bam Adebayo, without those guys that were surrounding him to get to that level, he forced those guys to game 6.
No, I agree. I'm just confused because I saw you on TikTok talk about how Goran Dragic was the best scorer.
Oh yeah, he was the best scorer. Yeah.
So how's the tune changing? Like I'm confused. Are you just
talking about
arguing
how's the
solely
team
based on the finals or the whole run?
56 points. That's how it changed.
Nah, I'm
56
talking
points.
about from the Boston.
That's how it changed.
No, I'm talking about from the Boston Celtics, right? From last season, what he did in the postseason, including what he did in the finals, including what he's doing right now.
So from the finals to now,
man, everything, even 2020, bro, include all of it. Anthony Davis, because
Yeah, I
Anthony
don't
Davis,
think he's better than
we're not going to act as if he hasn't had LeBron James right next to him for the last 3 years, which is better than what Jimmy Butler has had, right?
Right.
So when we put all of this into perspective, on top of availability, I don't understand how Jimmy's not better, man.
If you want to say Jimmy Butler's better than AD offensively, I wouldn't push back on that.
Listen, I don't think
But AD is an all-time great defender.
I think it's like
Jimmy played D2 though.
Oh no, he does.
Not like
100%,
Anthony
100%.
Davis. He doesn't-
I think Jimmy Butler is one of the 5 best wing defenders in the NBA, but AD
Jimmy's
is
making his case for
all-time
top
great.
10. That's I don't think.
What about the playoff translation, man? What's he doing against Memphis right now?
AD, this is the one time offensively AD is not playing great.
My
Offensively,
bad.
he's
You
not
know what?
playing great.
You know what? My bad. Maybe I am being recency biased.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
watching the dude. I think he's averaging 5 blocks a game.
Yeah,
Let me wait on
defensively
it.
he's playing
13 rebounds.
Maybe
Right.
my
Offensively,
bad.
it's
My
not.
bad.
It's not.
You know
not
what?
great. But
I'm not even ready to jump off that.
And this is against the
Man, I don't
defensive
know.
player of
I
the
don't
year,
know.
by the way, that he's doing this against.
I still
can't talk
have
about
Jimmy
that. My
Butler
bad.
fringe. I have him fringe top 10. I don't know if I have him top 10 because like Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, LeBron, like all those guys are like 8 through 12 range. But I think he can be in the top 10. But I think he can be like just outside as well.
I had him at 9 before the season started.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue too much with
My
that.
bad, fellas. My bad.
Dub after yesterday though, it's not crazy to say if you ask me. But then, because here's the thing I do want to ask is if AD is on this team, no Tyler Hero. I know obviously.
Oh yeah, they're down. They get swept.
And that's the point I want to make with Jimmy being, a playoff type of performer. If we're talking about now in the playoffs, I don't know if that's too crazy to say. The way Jimmy elevates in the playoffs.
Easy
But
though, Marz.
I think they get swept. I think if Steph Curry's on the Heat, they get swept.
I think and if they do get swept, I think that we get an all-time great game from Anthony Davis because I don't know what it is about Giannis, but when he sees Giannis, he is ready. Like he'll go up against Capella or he'll go up against Steven Adams and he'll give you 15 and 11. But he sees Giannis and he'll get 40 and 20 against him.
Because he wants to prove he's the best 4-man in the game.
Jimmy's over Kawhi and Dame. Jimmy's over.
Oh yeah, Jimmy's over Kawhi for me. Kawhi's lack of availability. I mean, it's hard for
get out of here, Kawhi. Retire.
Yeah, pack him up.
Yeah, sorry, Kawhi.
Go.
Told you something else. Get out of here, Kawhi. This is the dude who caused a parade in your town, right? You never had a parade in your town. You've been smoked out of the playoffs
What do you want me to do,
6
build
or
a
7 times.
statue of
Now,
Tyson
yes,
forever?
you actually should, because the next time you win an NBA championship, it won't be in front of our eyes. It'll be the little dude that's standing next to you with your last name. We ain't gonna be alive to see it. I bet you that. But meanwhile, Kawhi Leonard.
I wish you had a team.
Meanwhile, Kawhi Leonard brings the NBA championship to your town and a parade to your town. All of a sudden, now we have this guy. Goodbye. How about you show some respect to him, Tone?
Retire.
Okay, say that then. You know what, Leonard? No, you get out of here. Get out of here. Like he's old news.
The NBA.
Get a break.
Show some respect, Floyd.
By the way, I do think Kawhi is a better basketball player than Jimmy Butler. The reason I'm putting Jimmy Butler over Kawhi is because Kawhi can't play. Like I can't talk about how good Kawhi is in theory and when he does play. If he can't play in the postseason, how much value are you really giving me? Jimmy Butler gives me value in the postseason by being out there. Kawhi gives me 2 games and then he's done.
Let's be clear. He brought a championship to my hometown, not to my team. Let's just be.
Hey, Ticket, you there?
Cook 'em, Ticket.
Not yet.
Oh,
we don't have him. No,
I gotta ask.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, you asked me.
There you go.
You asked me, am I here? I ain't gonna say it.
I gotta ask you something. Because I need tickets. I need tickets inside here. Is it crazy to say that Jimmy's better than Anthony Davis, man?
Gosh.
No, right now, he's gonna, because you know what he's gonna give you on a nightly basis in the playoffs. When it comes to big time, when it comes to it's time to put it on the line, I trust Jimmy. Bro. If you ask me, I want to go through a playoff run. One player, Jimmy or AD. I want Jimmy.
Why is that, Ticket?
Because I know what I'm getting from him on a nightly basis. He's not going to check out.
Same thing Marz just said about Leonard.
Listen, that means something to me.
It does.
And Kawhi, listen, I don't know what you and Tone was arguing about, but y'all too crazy. I love that shit. See, I like you. I like that. See what I'm saying? But see, my thing is that
Ticket just like to see my blood pressure go up. That's what he like.
But this my thing though, right? And I mean this, bro. I love players like De'Aaron Fox, bro. I love players like that. He not gonna cheat the game, bro. Bro, Tyler Hero just went out with the same injury. He's done for the season. Same injury. Done for the season. They told Fox, you're done for the season, bro. He said, no, I'm not. I'm playing game 5. Bro, that is what you call, bro, doing what you're supposed to do, bro. That's what you call carrying on tradition, bro. From what you was, how the guys before you taught you how they paid the price. Bro, Shaq is walking around here limping, having all kind of surgeries because he paid a cost so his whole family could live good. You understand what I'm saying? Also did all those other players. These guys now, they want to live good and they don't want to pay the price that you got to pay in order to have that type of lifestyle. It's a price you got to pay, bro. And that means you got to go out there and put it on the line, even when you don't want to, bro. And this is the biggest time of the season. I guarantee you the Clippers people are ticked with Kawhi behind the scenes. They're just scared to say it because they don't want to ruffle feathers with that guy, bro. Bro, it hurts me, though. But the young guys, I like where it's going. I like what D. Fox is doing. Salute to him for stepping up. Salute to Jimmy for bringing it in the playoffs. But when it's time, he brings it. You understand what I'm saying? I appreciate dudes. Like, that's why when I told y'all the other year, y'all asked me who was top 5. Bro, if these dudes ain't getting it done in the postseason, they ain't top 5 to me.
Didn't Tyler Hero break his whole hand?
No, he just broke 2 fingers.
Oh, I thought he broke his hand.
No, he broke 2 fingers. He broke 2 fingers.
On his shooting hand?
I think it's his left hand.
I think it's his left.
It's his non-shooting hand?
Yes, his non-shooting hand.
Oh, that's weak. That's weak.
He broke 2 fingers. And on top of that, De'Aaron Fox, it wasn't like he broke his finger like in practice. He broke his hand yesterday. He broke his hand during the game, and he still played.
Yeah, blew up in your face, Marz.
I was asking because I thought you broke his hand.
No, he broke 2 fingers.
Not everything's an argument, you know. Not everything's an argument.
Yeah, he broke 2 of his fingers, Marz. He didn't break his whole hand. Yeah, he broke 2 fingers.
I thought he broke his hand too, but 2 fingers on his non-shooting hand. I just want to be clear.
I think it's his left hand. I'm not totally sure, Tone. But I think it's his non-shooting hand.
You got to play, man.
I'm just saying, if he broke I don't want to say all, but if he broke 2 fingers on his non-shooting hand, no offense, you tape that shit up and play. I'm sorry. If it's on his shooting hand, okay, a different conversation. I'm sorry.
Well, he just had surgery, so I guess it must be more severe.
Marz, when you saying dudes like Kobe Bryant getting his finger snapped back into place and going back in the game, it's difficult for me to see a dude who broke his finger or broke 2 fingers and can still, like, if I can catch the basketball, I can be somewhat of a threat to you guys. I can do something. I'm gonna be on the floor as opposed to a guy who had his
apparently it was his shooting hand.
Okay, 2 fingers.
Not everyone.
Hold on, but was it Fox's shooting hand too, Marz?
It was his left hand.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say this. Hold on. So let's say this, Marz. But see, here's the thing that we're talking about, right? Now, this team doctor stuff is thrown out the window with De'Aaron Fox because the team doctors told him that his season was done. He needed season-ending surgery. He said he was playing. See, that's what I keep trying to tell y'all. The players, the stars on the team can override anything anybody say.
Of course.
Can't nobody stop them from playing. So when we get all this Kawhi, go ahead, Fluent. Go ahead, Fluent.
Yes, Yasir Ahmed, you have no effing clue what you're talking about. Moving on. All right. Go ahead.
I think it's a little different when it's a finger as opposed to a knee or a back.
No, but listen, if it's two fingers on his shooting hand that was so bad that he needed surgery, which means they had to replace them, put in whatever to keep them aligned, they're then okay. I was under the impression, like I said, it was his shooting hand. Then I thought it was two fingers on his non-shooting hand, which is you play through that. But if it's surgery requiring two fingers, sure, okay.
On top of that, De'Aaron just built like that. He ain't no sucker. He not sitting down over a finger.
We wouldn't
Oh
even
no,
know
I think it is a part of his hand because the metacarpal.
I've broken this finger. Look, you can see this.
It's not his finger. It's his
Two
metacarpal.
broken fingers on his shooting.
I can't
Hold
bend
on,
it.
hold on. But hold on, but watch this though, Marz.
All they did was tape it.
I'm just reading what the internet says.
Hold on, but Marz, watch this. Hey, Fluent, let me ask you a question.
This two broken fingers, Marz, on his shooting hand. You say?
That's what it says. It says two broken fingers.
I want y'all to check this out. Fluent, let me ask you a question. Kawhi Leonard has the same injury as De'Aaron Fox. Is he playing again in this series?
He should be. If he
I'm asking Fluent.
Okay.
Fluent.
Yeah, sorry, what now?
If Kawhi had the same injury as De'Aaron Fox had right now, is he playing again in this series? Is he playing in Game 5?
Yes.
No, of course not.
Thank you.
Yes.
He's not.
Yes.
You think Kawhi down 3-1 with a broken fingertip doesn't play?
I think Kawhi only plays when he's like 95% or better.
It was down 2-1 Marz when it happened. That's ridiculous. Kawhi Leonard's playing. It's not
Now, listen,
the injury's not even that crazy.
I think we're doing a disservice to Kawhi. Kawhi has
y'all going way too far.
He's out with a knee injury. If he had a broken fingertip, I think he plays.
We're also forgetting
AI had a history. AI had a history of injuries. Kobe had a history of injuries. Cut it out.
You're comparing him to some of the toughest people of all time.
Y'all
Kawhi
overdoing
is
it.
also
Y'all
dealing with
overdoing
stuff
it.
at home, guys. Don't forget, like, there's other things that maybe like just his mental might be off too. Like his sister, if you don't know, right, just got sentenced to life in prison for murder that she committed in January or February. Like, so there might be other things. So he's injured. He might have some. Like you can't. Some people just don't deal with that stuff as well. So I don't want to knock Kawhi too much, although it sounds like we are for this time around. But what I've seen from him over the years is he likes to be very healthy and rested.
He played in Toronto when he was hurt.
He did play in Toronto when he was hurt. Absolutely. That is kind of the one exception, though, isn't it?
Every time he plays,
he found out he had degenerative knees after that.
He's playing hurt every time he plays.
Okay.
Every time he plays,
I think we're doing a disservice to like the guy. The guy has degenerative knees. Like there's level. Someone having a broken fingertip, which is what De'Aaron Fox has. It's great that he's playing through it because some people wouldn't do that. Fantastic. But to say that Kawhi Leonard,
what's the injury with Kawhi right now, Marz?
It's said it's a knee sprain. That's what it said.
It's his knee. His knees is fucked
If it's his knee, then it's
It's
He
always
can't-
Doug, let me ask you a question, Doug. Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
You don't think Kawhi could play? You literally don't think Kawhi can get on the court and play ball right now?
I have a little brother that goes through the same thing. It's something that you have to take of seriously because that's something.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't think he can play.
Would Kawhi play if he was getting paid per games played? Not
goddamn right.
No, I'm not joking this time.
No.
Would he play?
By games played, yes, he would play. Hey, hold on, Tone. Chill. You know why he would play? Half of them guys would be playing because if they start doing you like they do in the NFL, where you got non-guaranteed contracts, or they do your ass like they do you overseas, where if your ass don't play, you get your ass sent home. All these dudes would be playing, bro. Cut the shit.
I don't think he. To be honest with you,
hold on, my man. He makes over $350,000 a game, bro. You think he ain't playing? You think he ain't playing? You think he's not playing?
I don't. If it was like that ticket, I don't think he would have stuck around that much longer. I think he would have quit if it was like that.
I think we're asking way too much of someone who has clear knee problems.
Right. Yeah. I think that this knee injury is way worse. Like I'm having a difficult time believing, as much as he quote unquote load manages in the playoffs, that he's got a broken fingertip that I can play through, that he wouldn't go.
I agree.
Why he no cast?
He would go.
Well, then his knees are that bad. If his knees are that bad, which it sounds like they are, I go back to my previous point. Then
they are bad.
Retire and save your life, so because otherwise he's not going to walk when he gets older. He's going to be
when he's 60. When he turns 60 and 70, his knee's going to be fucked. He's not gonna be able to walk properly.
He basically has
his knee is already messed up.
It's like that now.
Yeah,
it's like that now.
That's more like in his 50s, Dub. He's gonna be
Yeah, it's like that now.
some type of
I ain't
game
seen
and
no
whatnot.
fouls when his banana boat during the summertime.
It's easy
You're
to just
walking
ignore
around
what's
like
right.
Phil
It's
Jackson
easy
at
to ignore the facts just to push your own narrative. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
push my narrative. I'm pushing. Hold on.
It's simple
I'm
to do
pushing
that.
the narrative. I'm pushing the
man
narrative
is
of.
simply hurt.
Hey, hold on,
saying?
Bob.
Like-
I'm pushing the narrative of. I grew up watching Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I grew up watching Kobe Bean Bryant. I grew up
Without
watching.
degenerative
Hold
knees.
on, Bob.
Degenerative knees.
Hold on, Bob. I watched Isaiah Thomas on one fucking leg, bro. Cook motherfuckers. Tell me I didn't, Chilltown. I watch him on one goddamn leg hop around the court for the love of the goddamn game. And he wasn't getting paid half of what these motherfuckers getting paid. So don't give me that shit. Weak ass bitches, man.
Kawhi played through it in game.
Weak ass
Kawhi
bitches, man.
played through it
Don't
in
give me
game
that
two.
shit, man. They weak, man.
Kawhi
Period.
Kawhi
hurt
hurt,
in game two.
I don't want to hear that shit, man.
Every time he plays,
This doesn't.
every time you see when you just seen Kawhi out there torching KD, he did that hurt too. So talk about that.
So,
Talk
okay,
about
now all of a sudden he can't play.
all the times
So
you
he's
see
plucking-
this
hold on.
person
So
and that
Bob,
person
he's
play hurt.
plucking a nigga.
That's what
He's
Kawhi was
plucking
doing
him.
too.
Yeah.
Every
Bob,
time
he's-
Kawhi
hey,
goes
Bob,
on the
Bob,
court, he is
he's-
hurt.
Bob,
He's been
Bob,
playing hurt.
he's plucking him, Bob.
Kawhi's not sitting out because he's hurt.
Okay,
Kawhi's
Bob. So let me ask you
playing
this
through
question, Bob.
injury.
Bob.
Kawhi's
He's
been
plucking
hurt for
KD.
seasons
Bob,
now.
Bob, let me get
Y'all
this straight,
over here,
Bob.
y'all downgrading him. Y'all need
Hold
to
on,
be
Bob.
praising
Hold
him,
on, Bob.
man.
Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. Bob, let me get this straight. Hold on, Bob. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, Bob. Let me ask you a question, Bob. Bob, let me ask you a question. Bob, I gotta ask you a question. Kobe Bryant, same injury. Isaiah Thomas, same injury. Larry Joe Bird, same injury. Michael, I'm gonna ask you a question. Wait, let me ask the question first, Bob. Let me ask the question for you, Jackstrap. Larry Joe Bird, same injury. Michael Jeffrey, hold on, Bob, hold on. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, same injury. Do they play?
What do you mean? He's playing.
I just asked you a question. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna ask Chilltown. Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird in the playoffs. Series on the line. Do they play?
Bird couldn't
Same
even
injury as Kawhi.
walk. Bird couldn't even walk and he was playing.
Do they play?
He had a back problem where he couldn't
Thank
even
you.
walk.
That's all I want to know, man. I don't want to hear no fucking excuses, man.
But look at what that did to Larry Bird, though.
Well, tell him to quit then. Tell them motherfuckers stop stealing checks and quit. Stop stealing people goddamn money. Now I'm finna cook your fucking ass. No, now I'm finna cook your ass. Put me in the big screen, Ron. Put me in the big screen, Ron. Now I'm finna cook his ass, Ron. Now I'm finna cook this motherfucker 3 the hard way. So tell them motherfuckers to quit. Tell them to stop stealing checks from the people. Tell them to stop having their faces put on advertisement and people spending all their goddamn money, taking their kids, family, home friends, and everybody to the game to spend money for these dudes to roll manage and not play. Tell them to quit. Tell them to quit basketball. Give up his spot. Give up his chance to somebody who wants to go out there and get it done, man. Get out of here, man.
There's a difference between load managing and being hurt.
How many seasons did Larry Bird play, Chilltown?
He played 13 years.
13 years. What season is this for Kawhi?
This is he came in 20. I think this is 12. He came in 2011.
Okay. So if Kawhi plays one more season, tries to play through it and retires, what's the difference between him and Larry Bird?
Larry Bird didn't miss 40% of his career. That's the difference. Larry Bird played through all. Larry Bird played through all types of injuries. Larry Bird played when he could barely walk.
None of these cats that you were naming got the
same.
Hold on, I'm giving you facts though.
I'm giving you facts.
You don't want to hear
Hold on. How do you know that?
It don't support your narrative.
How do you know that, Bob?
It don't support your narrative.
How do you know that?
Can you tell me a player who had degenerative knees and had a long career?
Man, Bob, you run around here flexing your goddamn muscles all the time. You got the goddamn mentality of AD. Nigga, cut that shit out, bro. Cut that shit out, man. 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 Dudes right here walking around here with big bodies and no hearts in them, man. Cut it out, man. You get your ass out there and play. I'm taking a check. I get out there and play. Let me tell y'all something, man. Charles Barkley can't walk today. You know why? Because he paid the fucking cost. Shaq can't walk today. Shaq had hip surgery, all kind of shit. Because he paid the fucking cost. You know why he paid? Hold on. You know why he paid the cost? He paid the He paid the cost because he wanted to be great. He paid the cost because people was paying their hard-earned goddamn money. And when he didn't feel like getting out the bed, he respected and went out there when it was time to put it down for the organization and for the fans and for the people who put their money, their hard-earned goddamn money. Tell him I ain't lying, Chilltown.
Don't leave out Kevin McHale played in 87 in the
finals.
87.
Weak ass mentality, man.
Kevin McHale played in the 87 finals.
Can you tell me one player who had degenerative knees and had a long career?
Bro, what are you talking about?
None.
All I know is Kevin McHale played in the NBA finals with a broke foot.
Tell me one player who had degenerative knees and had a long career.
Kevin McHale played in the NBA finals with a broke foot.
And guess what? He ruined his career doing that.
Yeah, he did play 5 more years.
He's a legend and he's well respected because of it.
And Kawhi Leonard will go down as a legend too.
No, he won't. He'll go down as a dude. He'll go down as a dude who won an Andre Iguodala MVP with the Spurs. He'll go down as a dude who ran over there to an already made Toronto Raptors team that was getting stopped by LeBron James, who went to the west side. And then when Kawhi went to the east side, LeBron wasn't on the east side no more, so he didn't have to see him. He's going to get reminded as a dude who went to the strippers and was supposed to be the unsung leader of the team and got his ass stripped down. And every other year he didn't. He got hurt and ran off the court, whining like a little baby or sitting up in the skybox acting like a goddamn fool when nobody else in the history of NBA basketball went and sat in the skybox when the team was playing. Y'all want to talk about selfish? I'm going to cook your ass.
Is he going to get reminded? Is he going to get reminded?
That shit, man. We don't make excuses for nobody, nigga. Nobody. I watch the greatest. Hey, look. Hey, chill, Tim. I watch Kobe Bryant tear his goddamn Achilles, walk to the free throw line and make both free throws, dog, and still want to come back in the game, bro. Cut it out, man.
So is he
like Kobe said, they got to cut off both my legs and take my arms for me not to play.
Is he going to be remembered as the one that walked down Giannis, the one that you jock sniffed for, that you ducked the whole beginning of the episode for?
Hey, guess what?
Is that what he's going to be remembered for?
Hey, Bob, hold on, Bob. Hey, Bob.
Kawhi already a legend.
Okay, hey, Bob, let me say this to you, Bob. Hey, Bob. Let me say this to you. You're right, but at least Giannis didn't duck the grind. At least Giannis didn't dunk for team. Hold on, Bob. At least Giannis didn't whine like a little baby when the organization, who was known as a reputable organization in the history of the NBA, until they met with this buffoon, they was known as a reputable organization who did everything right. And then when the great Greg Popovich called his sorry ass out because he was capping, and everybody want to get mad when Greg Popovich called his ass to the carpet, but then when he left, we see the same story again and again and again. Kawhi Leonard won all.
What about what DeJounte said about?
Hold on, Bob.
What about what DeJounte said about?
He wants the mansions. He wants the mansions. He wants the yachts. He wants the private jets. He wants the same helicopters and everything else that all the other greats have. But his ass don't want to pay the price every single time. He want to find a cop out and say it's my knees. No, sir. Believe this when I tell you this, bro. Believe when I tell you this, bro.
Right there. You the only one that knowing the facts, bro.
Bob, I understand one thing about you, Bob. You and me, we come from a different cloth, baby. Because guess what? They got to kill me to take me off the court.
Whatever they call it, whatever you call it.
They got to kill me to take me off the court. They got to kill me to take me off the court.
You would never want to see me.
They got to kill me to take me off the court, Bob. They literally got to take my legs off, take me off the court. I promise you that.
This ain't what you
want to
play with me. Hey, I'm saying it's logical, bro.
I promise you that.
He want to be able to walk. He want to be able to play with his grandkids one day.
So quit then, Bob. If that's the case, then quit.
I said that already, chill. I said that to you.
Okay.
I said I think it's about time. You remember that? Just the other day on Chill with Chill, I said I think it's about time for Kawhi to hang his boots.
Right. Okay,
I'm
so
fine.
I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that because
I guarantee you he don't quit though. I guarantee you he keep up the same shenanigans. I guarantee you he keep getting checks.
Wait. I got to ask you a serious question. I let you guys talk and argue and fight and fine. Let me ask you a question though, and be honest. Don't give me no lies. Be honest. Every single one on the panel. I'm offering you $20 million a year to play, and I'm gonna let you play when you want, knowing that you're hurt. You're gonna say, "Nah, I'm gonna go home for nothing," or you're gonna take
Everybody's gonna say yes. Everybody should.
Like we're making the decisions for Kawhi Leonard, not in his situation. A guy has clear knee problems, degenerative knees, which Dub says he knows someone in his family who goes through the same issue and knows how hard that is. And we're acting like he should just go out there and play. That doesn't make sense.
Brandon Roy had to retire. He could not play anymore.
Like, it doesn't make sense. We're talking as if we're in his situation and know how it works. We don't.
Fun conversation. But if someone's offered me $20 million a year and they'll say, play when you want to play, and I'll play through my pain, I'm not saying no, forget it, I'm going to go home for nothing. I'm going to take the money too. So I get it.
If the Clippers are willing to put up, with it,
a little bit,
and they know the situation, if the Clippers are willing to put up with it, and they know the situation, who are we to tell Kawhi Leonard, oh, you know what? Don't take the money they're giving you because you're not 100%. No, that's dumb.
I guarantee you,
the Clippers are aware of it. The Clippers are aware of the knee problem. They're still willing to pay him.
If a billionaire is offering me tens of millions of dollars, I'm taking it.
Chill town. I mean, Florence.
So hard to defend these billionaires.
I'm gonna ask you this last question. Let it go.
Like, no.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you one last question. I'm gonna let it go, Florent. Florent, I want you to tell the truth. You ain't got to get no sources. Do you think that the Clippers are happy with Kawhi and the situation and how he's dealt with things since he's been in LA?
No, you know that I know for a fact that they aren't.
Thank you. That's all. Now shut your bitch ass up, Marz. Like I said, I'm cooking on 100 hot every single day, 5-6 days a week. Whenever you want to get it, I'll smoke your ass. Bruh's barbecue, Bill's barbecue, Sam's barbecue, however the hell you want. You can shit. We can do shit in front of Walmart if you want. I will cook your ass, boy, until there ain't no more cook left on your sorry ass. Now, like I just said, that man just told you he know for a fact they're not happy with him. But all the golf running around here tell you, oh, the Clippers ain't got no problem. No, they're pissed off with his sorry ass.
That's not the point being made. Just because you say something and then throw an insult.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you a question, Ticket, and answer honestly. I'm going to give you $20 million, knowing that you can't play because you hurt. Are you saying no, or are you taking it?
No, I'm taking it. I'm playing.
Thank you.
No, I'm taking it and I'm playing. No, I'm taking it and I'm playing.
All right, when you can't,
you can't play. No. The question is, but knowing you can't play, you still taking it?
No, I'm not. Hold on. I'm not taking no money if I can't play, bro.
You're a
I'm
liar.
not doing that shit. I don't get that. Hold on. Let me tell you something.
Nobody doing that, man.
Everything I got in my life. Hold on. Chill town. Chill town. Hold on. Chill town. Chill town. I'm gonna tell you something. Chill town. Hey, chill town. Hold on. Chill. A nigga like me is cut different. Let me tell you something. Chill town. How many? You know how many? Hold on. Chill town. You know how many times I've been offered? Hold on. Chill town. You know how many times I've been offered? Hold on. Chill. You know how many times I've been offered hundreds of thousands of dollars to change up my whole format? Hold on. To change up my whole format, stop cussing and doing everything I do, just so that I can be put on a suit and tie, be a company man, and do things the way the company wants me to do it, so that they can put me on their networks, and I turn that shit down because I want to do it my way. Bro, don't say that, bro. Everybody ain't built like that. Hold on, Chill Town. I can show you, Chill Town. I can show you proof. I can show you proof that I have been offered hundreds of thousands of dollars to do certain shows, and they told me, and I quote, "You need to tone down your cussing, your language, and the way you talk." And you know what I told them? I ain't toning down shit. I'm gonna be me, same way every day, even on Sunday. That's the reason why it's taking me so long to get to where I've gotten to now. Because of the way I went about it.
Wait a minute. Last question, then I'll shut up. Last question. I'm going to give you 4-year deal, $176 million. You have degenerative knees, so you might not be able to play every single game you want to play. Are you taking it? Yes or no?
And I'm playing in the playoffs.
Shut up. What are you about to say?
I'm playing when it's on the line, baby. I'm playing when it's on the line.
You're not taking 4 years, $176 million, knowing that you might not be able to play every game?
No, Tone, I'm not doing that, because what I'm doing is but this is what I'm doing, Tone. That's like me coming up here. You know what? This guy offered me X amount of dough to come up here and talk basketball with you guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. At some point, maybe next year, my brain's going to go and I'm not going to know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to get up here and I'm going to take all the money and I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to talk basketball with you guys. That's a fraud. And I'm not a fraud. And I won't present myself as a fraud. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. If I can't go, then I'm not putting my name on that contract. Well, think about everybody else. I am thinking about everybody else. I'm thinking about everybody else and what I'm going to look like afterwards when they find out that, you knew you couldn't do this, but you took this money anyway. You knew that. Now the difference.
But it's not that you can't do it. It's that you can't do it as regularly as they want it. So you might not be able to play 80.
Okay, there's a difference, Tone, between I can't do it as much as opposed to I can't do it.
That's Kawhi.
Leonard can't do it. He can't do it anymore. He can't, unfortunately. And not only can he not do it, Marz, we already had this conversation. This was 5-6 years ago that he started breaking down, and we didn't accept the fact that he was breaking down. We knew it, and it just got progressively worse. Only except the Clippers extend him for another $176 million, knowing that this thing is going to get worse.
Voluntarily, they chose to do that.
This is going to get worse.
So if someone volunteers to give you money, if someone volunteers to give you money, knowing the risks that come with your health, they volunteer to give you that money, your integrity will say, no, I can't take that money because I know that I may not be able to stay healthy. That's what you're telling me.
My brother is a banker, and one thing I learned from him is all money ain't good money.
Man, Doug, me, you, and Marz, we had this conversation about Zion. It was the Zion thing, and I was like, I don't think Zion should have You know, first of all, they shouldn't have offered him the money.
Yeah,
I think it was bad business on Zion
I think at
to
some
be out here
point,
doing what he's doing. I think there's a difference between Zion and Kawhi. Kawhi got out there, and what Kawhi got is degenerative knees. Like everybody on here knows, he got degenerative knees.
Right.
I think he was trying to push through it. Once again, like I said, I think it's come to the point now where it's like, look, you clearly can't do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? You tried, you get.
It's gotten progressively worse, Bob. That's what's happening.
He played through it in game 2 as well. It's not like he didn't try.
Now it's on the Clippers organization. They got to know better than to keep throwing money at this man. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously he's going to take it.
Yeah.
He's obviously going to take it.
I think it's easy. I think it's easier in this setting to say I'm not taking it. I think it's different when you think like Kawhi probably thinks I can play.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take that money, and I might not be able to play 82. Maybe I play 60, but then I'll be ready for the playoffs. And I've shown that I can go through an entire playoff series. And I think his mind is saying, again, it's one thing to say no. It's another thing to have your brain say, if someone offered me today, I know that I can't play basketball anymore. I know that. But if it was 30 years ago, I'm probably saying, I think I could do it. I'm taking the money. So I think it's different when that check's sitting in front of you, man.
It's not even about that.
You think
because they made that decision a while ago, right? Somebody gives me an opportunity,
right? That he signed.
Yeah. If somebody gives me a contract and they're saying here like, yo, I want to sign you for this much, and I tell them like, yo, I have this health issue. It's gonna get worse over time. Are you willing to deal with that? And they say yes. Okay, cool. You willing to deal with that? Cool. You're dealing with it too, the same way I am. I just think it's just disingenuous because. Like we can't act as if Kawhi's doing a
real life example. I'll give you a real life.
No, it's the parameters, though. That wasn't the agreement. The agreement was hold on, Doug. The agreement was you load manage during the season to play all postseason. That was the agreement. You load manage during the regular season so that you're here to play the entire postseason. That's the agreement. The agreement wasn't that, we're going to load manage you during the season so you can't play during the postseason. No, we're going to tax your ass. And Tyronn Lue said it. I feel you on that ticket. Hold on, Doug. When they asked Ty Lue during the regular season, I have the tape. They asked him why they were load managing Kawhi so much. He says, we have to do this now so that we can tax him and we can do everything we want to do with him in the postseason so he can play all the minutes we need him to play. Now you're getting to the postseason. This is what they signed up for, bro. Kendrick Perkins told you on national TV. Tyronn Lue lost his damn mind over this situation with Kawhi. How many more people you needed them to tell you, bro? These people are fed up with this shit, man.
Everybody could be mad at the scenario, but if the scenario is outside of somebody's control, it's kind of hard to blame them. Listen, that's something hard to get over. Like, acting like he hasn't tried his best to sit here and try to make sure he's available for the postseason. He load managed. He tried to monitor his minutes. He tried even games he played. He tried to rest up and not try to play too much out of himself so he doesn't get hurt. And listen, that issue, bro, he's probably rehabilitating. Every single day he's doing exercises. He's probably every single day trying to get that knee to not digress every single time. Because every time he gets on the court, it's shit. It goes down to shit every time he gets down on the court. So that's not in his control. Like, you can't blame a guy for doing that. Because what if he is doing the exercises? What if he is taking the meds? He probably is. Not even if. He is doing that. He is trying to get out there. It's not his fault that his body's giving up on him.
All right, my bad.
They made that decision in 2019.
I apologize.
I've been hard on Kawhi. And I thought that first game he missed, right? I was like, oh my God, he's load managing because he played 40 plus minutes the last game. Like, I can't believe it. He's legit hurt. Like, I think we know now he's legit hurt. So I can't hold it against him if he's legit hurt.
We've been new this, though, Tone.
We got to move on. We got to move on. We've been talking about Kawhi's knees forever, and I think we got better things to talk about than Kawhi's knees. All right, I got a few more super chats I'm gonna run down. They got a whole lot of topics in our super chats that we could definitely cherry pick off. Christopher D says, "Shout out to my little big bro Dub on one."
That's so crazy.
Shout out to my little big bro Dub on 1K subs and getting monetized. Shout out, Dub. Jimmy Butler is him in the playoffs. What adjustments should the Bucks make, if there's any to make at all? Also, is Budenholzer a fraud?
Always has been.
Double team him. That's it. Double team Jimmy. Get out your pride. double team him and take the ball out of his hands. Make one of them other clowns beat you. That's it.
Coach Bud wouldn't double team KD, so he ain't gonna double team Jimmy, and that's why.
Hold on. And
he won't double team James. He won't double team KD. He won't double team Book. He won't double team anybody. Everybody is 1-on-1.
Exactly.
Everybody is 1-on-1.
I know it was the last play of the game, but just look at what the Warriors, not as great defenders as the Bucks, what they did with De'Aaron Fox. They're like, hey, last shot, he's not beating us.
This is what I mean.
At some point, you got to say Butler's not beating us.
This is what I mean, Marz. When I talk about a great defender in Drew Holiday, okay, he is a great one-on-one defender. However, I do need some help with this dude. So you're just going to leave me over here with him by myself. How about we jump this dude at some point and make somebody else do it? I don't think that's a bad idea.
That's the point. But Coach Bud, like I said, from the beginning of the season, not that good. But once again, I'm right. Once again, but
I need some help with this dude. I'm a great defender, but I need some help with this guy. I can't cover him by myself.
He's gonna get fired after this series if they lose.
No, he's getting fired no matter what.
100%. He is out. Fired. That's Nick Nurse's job.
All right,
I think Nick Nurse will be phenomenal on the Bucks. My bad, Ron.
King Shot of 442 said Low and Marz were pushing playoff Jimmy is a man.
Let me say what I said once again.
Got him.
Let me say what I said once again because people have a hard time listening. This is what happened, and Bob might remember this because he was the one who asked the question. He said, "Is it time for us to talk about if playoff Jimmy is a myth or not?" And this is exactly what I said, word for word, bar for bar. You can find the clip. Playoff Jimmy is kind of mythical, and the reason why it's kind of mythical is because every 2022 run he has, there's a run like 2021. Every run like 2020, there's a run like 2018. The difference is for Jimmy Butler is he's not held to a high standard like a LeBron James and a Kevin Durant or a Giannis or a Steph Curry. So every time he underperforms in the playoffs, it doesn't get held against him because people don't expect him to play at a superstar level all the time. So when he does play at an extremely high level, which does happen quite often because he's a great player, he gets elevated to a new status. And that's what happened in 2022. And that's what happened in 2020. So all I said about playoff Jimmy was that for every time he does exceed expectations, there's times where he doesn't. But we look past them because we don't hold him to that standard. That's all I said about Jimmy Butler. Not that he doesn't play great in the playoffs. Not that playoff Jimmy is fraudulent and he never shows up. What I said was he doesn't get held to a standard of all the other superstars, and rightfully so, because he's not as good as them. He's still a great player, but to say playoff Jimmy and he always shows up, no, he doesn't. He just exceeds your expectations because you don't expect him to play like a superstar all the time. So when he does, you praise him for it, and rightfully so. That's it. That's not me saying playoff Jimmy is fraudulent or he doesn't exist. That's what I said. So if you
get your story straight when you talk about me, get your story straight.
That's what that was.
Get your story straight.
That's all it was.
Get your story straight.
But people don't want to listen.
Is he top 10 for you, Marz?
I've always had Jimmy fringe top 10. Like I think the lowest I've had him in the most recent years is 13. I've had him anywhere from like 8 to 13 in recent years, depends on how good I think guys like LeBron or Damian Lillard are, or if they're hurt. So he's always in that range. I think right now I probably have him about 11. I don't have a list, but I'd probably have him around 11. So fringe top 10.
Because if he's top 10, we should expect this from him, right? And we should knock him.
That's the issue. People don't think when the playoffs happen and he's playing at this level, everyone wants to say they think Jimmy Butler's top 10, but they really don't think he's top 10. Like, if you ask most people during the season, Jimmy Butler or Paul George.
It's only
me and Dub have argued this all the time. People still think Paul George is better than Jimmy Butler. I don't. I think Jimmy Butler's better. But people get surprised by when Jimmy Butler exceeds all these expectations because they don't think he's this good. I think he's this good. Well, not this good, but I think he's this good. Like, I think he's an extremely high level player. But people get surprised every time he exceeds expectations because they don't think he's that good. So all he can do, it's a win-win for him. If he underperforms this, well, Jimmy Butler's not that good. What did you really expect him to do? And if he exceeds the expectations, is wow, Jimmy Butler's really showing you guys that he's better than we thought. So he's in a great situation where all he can really do is exceed expectations. And that's all I was saying.
Dub, that face that you made when I said that Jimmy Butler was not, when I had Jimmy Butler at 9 before the season started, that was the face that I got from the majority of the people. What are you talking about? He's not a top 10 player. He's not that good. He's not that good. What about Devin Booker? What about Paul George? What about Donovan Mitchell? That's the kind of guys that I had to listen to. When in reality, I was going off what I had seen over the last 3 years. That's what I was going off for. I wasn't going off for dude who perennially every year he's 25 a game in the playoffs and he's kicking everybody's ass and he's taking his team deep into the playoffs. I was going off the last 3 years and what I had seen, and I took the name Jimmy Butler out. If this guy is doing this, is this guy a top 10 player? Yes, he is.
And that's all I was saying. Not that not that Jimmy doesn't step up in the playoffs or that playoff Jimmy's a fraud or a myth. It was literally just addressing how people view Jimmy Butler and that they don't hold him to that high of a standard. So all he can really do is exceed what people think of him. That's all it was. I still think Jimmy's great. And I think I probably hold Jimmy in higher regard than most people in this chat consistently. You guys just get onto the Jimmy train in the playoffs. I actually think he's just good all the time. So miss me with the fact that I don't like Jimmy Butler.
Get your story straight, King. King Hotters, whatever your name is. Get your story straight.
All right, moving along. Tough Bradley said, how do y'all feel about Ja still trying to jump over people?
That's his game. That's who Ja is. Ja's young. He's only what is he in year 3 or year 4? That's what we in right now.
I think
This is I think that's who Ja is. Ja's game is predicated on athleticism and flight. Ja has not figured out how to play the game yet. He's just running around like I'm just faster and more athletic than the majority of you. The game hasn't slowed down for him. And if he continues like this, that just so you know, that charge that James took yesterday, that could have been catastrophic for them. He fell on James. Had he not had James not been there, he would have fallen right. He would have fell right on his back, and it could have been really bad. And that's who Ja is. And until he changes his game, that's who he's going to continue to be. And it's going to be bad.
If James wasn't there, he dunks the ball. So I don't think that he really.
No, when he fell.
Oh,
do you think he's on a Derrick Rose trajectory? I don't want to foresee injuries for people, but do you think he's going down the route of Derrick Rose?
If he keeps playing reckless, he might. What he needs to do is watch Jones play a little bit and learn to go controlled, crazy fast, controlled, crazy fast. Or he might go down the road of like Russ, who only plays at one speed.
Yeah, and Russ is different in terms of he
Russ
doesn't really get hurt.
Russ, with the exception of Pat Beverly.
I'm not saying Beverly. I'm saying in terms of the
in terms of the pace and understanding the tempo of the game. Yeah.
Also, you could look at Russ's body though. Russ is built like a football player. He's built to take certain hits and things like that. Ja's skinny, he's frail, and he's also just smaller than Westbrook anyway.
No doubt, Ron. He looked like a good gust of wind come and blow him right over.
And also the thing about the thing about Ja too, kind of what Chilltown said. Like Ja is so fast. Ja can take too slow. He could slow himself down 2 notches and still be the fastest person on the floor. He can still get to wherever he wants to.
But Ron, see, that's the thing. I keep saying this, and I said it about Russ too, is because they both play at 100 miles an hour all the time. And if you slow it down, right, then when you use that speed, it actually feels, and you know this, it feels faster. Like I forget who it was. Is this actor dude who always like is this guy who fights in movies, and he had Kimbo Slice, God rest his soul, and they were doing a movie together. And he goes, "Here, put your hands up." And he goes, "Now I'm going to give you 2 punches, and you try to move your hands away from the third one." And he gives the punches really, really like the first 2 really, really fast, and the last one he just goes really slow. Boom, and he hits him. It's like, what the hell? It's that change of pace that just throws you off. And Dub will tell you this. He was a fighter family. Like that's the thing that if Ja gets that change of pace. He'll be unstoppable.
The actor Tone is talking about is Michael Ja White, the dude that was in.
Yes, him. You saw this.
I saw that with him and Kimbo Slice. I remember that.
But this the thing. I wonder if Ja even realizes that LeBron saved his life last night.
I'm telling you, like I just mentioned, Big Ox. If James wasn't there, he falls on his head. He falls on his head. James broke his fall.
And the thing is, Bron didn't even feel it. He just landed on his chest. Bron like, man, get off.
Well,
watch out.
John's like,
Ron thought it was his little daughter jumping on him while he was
sleeping on the couch.
Oh man,
he was like, get off me, Bryce.
Nah, he thought it was the little one, the daughter. He like, come on, man.
All right, so chat, you guys keep asking about it. You guys keep wanting us to talk about it. So here goes a super chat pertaining to it right now, and we will get into it. Christopher D said Dillon Brooks is goofy for avoiding back-to-back press conferences. You can't talk when things are good, but go into hiding when you can't back it up.
He didn't
want to answer the toughest question, which was rumors had it he was going to be traded at the trade deadline, and they couldn't find a partner. That's the problem. He doesn't want to deal with that.
No one cares about Dillon Brooks. I don't know why you guys give him so much time.
But they do care about Dillon Brooks. They do.
There's nothing to care about.
I don't disagree that but they do care.
Hey, y'all know. I was on that with Dillon Brooks. I was like, go ahead, y'all talk that shit. But you can't go out. You can't go out like this though.
Right.
Like even if Braun cook you, you still got to face the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when they put the mics in your face, you and look, even if you be humbled a little bit, even if he humbles you, and you be like, hey, that's the king or whatever.
It's
you know
okay
what I'm
to
saying?
say that,
You gotta
yo.
say
It's
something.
okay.
You can't
It's okay.
you can't act like it's the paparazzi covering up yourself, getting out.
Yeah.
Nah, say something now, Dylan.
But you know what?
That's
To be
ridiculous.
honest, Dillon Brooks made a mistake. And I get that, I've used this reference before. When you're in the yard, you go find the biggest, strongest dude and you punch him in the face. I get it. But what he should have done was found AD or D'Lo, because I think he could have broke them. I don't think you break LeBron. So
you go find the biggest. That's some shit I don't suggest you do. You go find the biggest, toughest dude on the yard and punch him in the face. That's how people die. Leave him alone.
Don't do that.
Leave him alone.
But what I'm saying is he should have picked on someone different in this particular.
Pick on somebody else.
Can I ask everybody this though? Like, and maybe not for you guys, but it's mainly like the masses. If you don't like somebody, why do you give them so much attention? Like, I never got that. Like,
that's always
a lot of people. Yeah, if people don't like Dillon Brooks, you don't like him. Okay, turn him off. Like, you could turn him off in your mind frame and then just be like, "Fuck it, it doesn't matter." Like,
the only reason why this is going on, Dub. The only reason why this is going on is because LeBron James is involved in this. Don't forget, he got into an altercation with Davion Mitchell earlier in the season. It went in one ear and went out the other. Nobody cared about that. The only reason why this is an issue right now is because it's about LeBron James, who's one of the faces of the league. That's the only reason why we're talking about that. Well, if it was somebody else, we would not be having this conversation.
Did you hear the boos in Game 3?
I will say this. There's a thing. There's this middle ground where no one cares. They either love you or they hate you. And Dillon Brooks is like, yo, they're not going to love me, so I'm going to make them hate me. If there's emotion there, that's why it matters too, is they hate him. He's playing the villain role. If they're not talking about you, it means they don't care. So because they hate him.
You just mentioned, Tone, that they hate him. And why do they hate him now? Because we didn't hate him 2 months ago. We didn't hate him 3 months ago. He was not the topic of conversation. The reason why he was the topic of conversation now is because, quote unquote, he poked the bear.
Yeah.
Hey, what did that say, Fluent? All publicity is good publicity?
All publicity is good publicity.
I'm gonna keep my name out there.
And that's what I'm saying. There's no reason to care. Like he called LeBron old, so
it doesn't matter.
He said he wants to play LeBron in the playoffs. Right. So who cares? You guys are just giving him attention for nothing.
But wait, this is one thing I will say though about Dillon. Now he says this. Let's say he says this like he did. But let's say they get the upper hand. Then it just looks like, wait, is Dillon Brooks the Bron stopper? You know, he's an opportunist. He saw the opportunity and he took it. He said, look, if I talk some good stuff right now, and let's say Bron has a couple bad games, let's say we pull this one out in 6 or 7. I'm gonna look like, like Lance thought he was gonna look that time.
And just plays the superstar and Bron goes for like 18 and 8 or something for the series. Right. You're never going to hear the end of it from Dillon Brooks.
No, you're not.
Right,
no, you're
exactly.
not. But
he was trying to set up his legacy.
With that being said, Big Ox, the majority of the times when guys talk to superstars, we saw what happened with the Kobe stopper and Ruben Patterson. That got zipped up really quick, right? We saw it. We saw it in 1993 when Gerald Wilkins came on TV and said, "It's my job to keep his numbers down." Yeah, we see how they got swept out of the playoffs. The majority of the time, when you poke the bear, you're gonna get run over, especially if you're not that good.
Moving along, fellas.
Dub, what you sniffing, Dub? You all right? Okay.
God, Lee, I had a sneeze. Right, allergies, man.
Salud.
We're gonna trade Dillon Brooks from Canada to the U.S. Just so you know, we're gonna take someone else back.
You're gonna send him out to the UK with Marz.
Yeah, can we do that? That'd be good.
I didn't run the country.
Exile him.
All right.
Wait, no, y'all send him out to Australia, don't you?
The UK used to send their criminals to Australia. Yes, that's a very long time ago. But yes,
get him out of there.
That was
that
before
crooked cat. That crooked cat said, hearing rumblings of Dame in Brooklyn. Thoughts?
I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, what are they gonna have to get?
They were saying for Ben Simmons.
I heard Miami.
Why would Portland subject themselves to that?
No way is Portland.
No one wants Ben.
Portland is not doing that.
Pack Ben Simmons up. If y'all want to crucify somebody for their lack of wanting to play basketball, you crucify Ben Simmons for that.
Yeah,
that's
who
who should
not want to play basketball.
Oh my God, bro, he's terrible. He's terrible.
I mean, for the money work, if Damian Lillard would have come to Brooklyn, the money works. with Ben Simmons. You might have to throw in some draft picks, and you might have to throw in another player or two.
Did they sign the new collective bargaining agreement?
That's next season.
Okay, if they do that and they give him like an amnesty, like they did, remember the last few, then maybe you take what's his damn name? I forget.
But I don't think Ben Simmons. I don't think Portland is in on Ben Simmons. And what for what they had to give up, what they got for KD, all those draft picks and getting, they're gonna have to give a lot of that up to give Damian Lillard, and Brooklyn's not trying to hear.
I think a lot of it was
Ben Simmons and 4 first-round picks for Dame.
I think
Brooklyn would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh, Brooklyn, yeah.
No, I'm saying Portland would have to want to
really rob
Portland is like, no.
Yeah.
He's really robbing people.
You get all those first round picks. Maybe Spencer Dinwiddie. It might be time to rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Might just be time to throw in the
It's not terrible. He has mental degenerative. That was the best comment of the day.
Wow.
Oh, how did I miss that one?
There you go. What about Mikal Bridges to Portland? Like, if Brooklyn do commit to the rebuild, you get Mikal, like, I don't know, Shaden Sharp.
Would Dame be okay with that?
Then why is Dame coming to Brooklyn? He might as well stay in Portland.
No, Dame. No, I'm saying Dame stays in Portland. Get him Mikal Bridges.
I like that with Jeremy Grant. I don't mind.
You got Jeremy Grant.
Free agent. He's a free agent.
Well, hopefully you bring him back. So Jeremy Grant, Mikal Bridges, Anthony Simons, Dame, and then you just like give them Shaden Sharp. I don't know what
they would probably want Anthony. You probably lose Anthony for that.
And Ben Simmons.
Maybe that would.
I'm not doing it.
So you'd rather have Anthony over Mikal?
It's not that I would rather have Anthony over Mikal. It's just like that's not going to do nothing for us. We got to keep Anthony. We got to give Mikal.
They can't. They need to add pieces. They can't lose pieces.
We just want to stay mid. You got to keep Anthony Simons if
that's
what to get him.
And Damian Lillard will be 33 on opening night, so he ain't getting no younger.
Yeah, that's the part that worries me too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you send Shaden and the big fella down there.
Listen, the best case scenario for Dame and his legacy is somehow if he finds his way. I don't know how they restructure the money and all that stuff to work, but he finds his way to a contending team where they don't have to give up their talent for him to play. Like Miami, like I heard Miami as a landing spot, and as long as you're keeping Jimmy and Bam, okay, fine, then it works.
Dub, Dub, I'm calling you up. Hand over Bam, hand over Tyler Hero, and hand over 2 ones, and I'll give you Dame. Yes or no?
Dang, Bam 2 though, that would be crazy.
No, you got to keep Bam.
There's nothing to think about, W.
Because if Bam, right, this is my issue with Bam is with him on offense, right? So if Dame, Jimmy, and Bam together, Bam won't have to do shit on offense because we have Jimmy and Dame together. I'll be fine with that. Giving up all of that for Dame, that's tough.
What about Hero, Robinson, 2 firsts, and some? Is there another young piece?
What do you think? I'm giving you a Rolls Royce tone for a Honda Accord. You think you're gonna get a bucket of extra crispy out of me?
It would have to be a free team trade or something.
It would have to be a 3-team trade.
You gotta get another team in, because if you think you're gonna give me a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack, is what I'm giving you.
Portland's getting back Duncan Robinson and giving up Dame is rubbish.
That's the issue with Miami right now. We can't
trade. It's not often. When superstars get traded, how often is it even? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's not even close to even though. That's like 5 cents.
It's never even.
The issue with Miami, right now is the fact that we can't give up pieces without giving up too much. Like our viable pieces is Tyler Hero, Bam, Jimmy. That's it. Nobody wants anybody else. So we're giving up all those guys for one person. Well, now we're just surrounding Dame and Jimmy with just G Leaguers and role players and everything. And that's not suitable in winning a championship either. So a 3-team trade needs to be a part of it.
You gotta get a third team involved in it.
We have to.
Because a team that's willing to take on some sort of money and has something.
And why would they do that? Yeah.
Because there's no way, Tone, that we handing over Damian Lillard for Duncan Robinson. I'm getting fired.
I think Portland's young enough to where they can take
Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and 2 firsts.
I'm still getting fired. I'm still getting fired.
And another piece. I think
for Dame, it's got to be more first rounds.
The goal has to be. If it's Miami, the goal has
Big Ox, you said more than 1 first rounder?
It's got to be more than 2. They got
maybe it's more.
First round.
I'm just saying the goal would be Bam, Jimmy, and Dame. Like that's your 3 that you're trying to keep. Everything else, take it.
I mean, Shaq got traded for Caron Butler, Lamar Odom, and Brian Grant. Lamar Odom turned out to be really good. Caron Butler turned out to be an all-star.
Surprisingly, though.
Right? Kevin Love got traded for Andrew Wiggins. right?
Brian Grant was solid down there.
Yes, he was.
Shaq, obviously, but
yes, he
Brian
was.
Grant all right.
Would you for a 3-piece of extra crispy, as you would say?
Right.
There's a lot of bad trades.
Absolutely.
Is it spicy or original?
No, it's extra crispy.
Extra crispy.
Extra crispy, no spicy. Oh, yeah.
No spicy. It's not worth eating.
All right, so RH3 LA said Braun gave the defensive player of the year 22, 20, and 7.
Okay, first of all, he wasn't. Jaren Jackson was not the primary defender on LeBron James, so that's not true. He might have scored that on their unit, but no, that's not true.
NV said Bucks 3-1 comeback loading.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what? There's actually somebody in the chat where I haven't seen him today at all yet. Drink more water, you Bucks fan. Pull up, because I have not seen you in the chat all day today, and you're
looking for you.
You know he watching. You know he watching, Dub. You know he watching.
Shout out to Drink More Water.
Nah, he ain't
You know he watching, Dub. He just ain't in the chat.
Drink more water. Drink more water. Only thing he been drinking today is whiskey.
Listen, drink more water.
That boy dehydrated.
Drink more water, baby. Tap in, bro. Don't duck. Drink more water.
That boy drinking Jim Beam.
It's ridiculous. People want to talk all that shit and then leave. Jesus.
Angie Carr said, "Ox, Jimmy got that Mac sauce." Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. I like that. Jimmy Butler.
Thanks.
Justin DW said, "Hemi Jordan losing to the Knicks in 5. Night, W."
Hemi Jordan. Hemi Jordan is the greatest nickname I've ever heard, bro.
Hemi. I like
Hemi
that.
Jordan. Hemi Jordan, bro. That's his nickname. 100%.
Did you not see what happened in the chat last night?
What happened? What you say?
When I said Hemi Butler.
Hemi Butler, yeah. No, Hemi Butler. I heard Hemi Butler before. Hemi Jordan. That's Jordan's long.
Hemi Jordan,
bro.
Oh, yeah. I've been saying that. I've been saying that for you know how long.
Yeah, you have been.
Somebody won a rookie of the year, by the way.
Hey, drink more water. Sipping on that Dunkin' drink right there.
Monchero just won a rookie of the year, by the way.
Yeah,
that's deserving.
That
makes sense.
Wasn't my rookie of the year, but not surprised.
Well, who you had? Walker Kessler,
Jalen Williams, or Keegan Murray. One of them.
I had Jabari Smith before the season started.
Oh, shit. I could have told you that wasn't happening. Another guy I was right about. Jabari, I told you, man. That's Trevor Ariza right there.
Marz is funny as hell, yo.
But shout out to Paolo Banchero. Definitely. I think he has the highest upside of anyone who played this season. I still think Chet long term has the highest upside, but
I think Paolo was the most NBA ready, meaning that that's why he got rookie of the year.
I agree.
But I think there's a couple of cats that probably end up better than him. I know it's gonna sound biased, but one of them is Keegan Murray.
He was my rookie of the year pick before the year. Keegan Murray.
Yeah, mine as well. Jaden, don't forget about Jaden Ivey. I need to see Chet come back and be healthy before I can even give any type of analysis on him.
You'll be waiting a long time.
Man, y'all
Shaden Sharp was my favorite player in the draft class coming in.
Paulo Banchero gonna average 27 plus for about 8 straight seasons.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What?
27 isn't the same as it used to be, Cho.
It's not. But
27 is at 23 now.
Did you say Chet or Paolo? Okay, bench. Yeah. He's what you call it. He looked like a more athletic version of Antoine Walker to me. That's who he reminds me of.
Yeah, that's a good
once that jump shot comes along.
Yeah, that's who he reminds me of.
It's really not all that bad though for a 16 dude who can do everything else he can do.
Yeah, because I'm cool with that.
It's respectable. It's passable.
That shot's pretty bad.
It's passable.
It needs to get better.
There's potential in it. I'll say that.
Keegan Murray finna get on his Jason Tatum.
Okay, chill. He does not have that level of shot creation.
Easy, big eyes.
He does not have that level of shot creation.
Chill out, big.
Hey, I was gonna wait for the summertime, but fuck it. We can let it out right now.
Let's slow down.
I was gonna save that for the summer. But I figured y'all earned one hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Any publicity odds.
Lego Rover said, "I'm gonna say it was Coach Bud."
Of course you're gonna see that.
They always gonna blame everybody but Giannis. Put Giannis in the burner. The way y'all put KD in the burner, man.
Telling you, man.
Proud of y'all.
You look like he shrunk, yo.
He did. I don't give a damn. He did. He shrunk.
Like he did.
He shrunk, man.
Extending on to that, Ja Rody said Bud has too much pride. Giannis need to post up more.
Exactly, because he'll dominate the post in the night. He's better than Karl Malone and those guys, so clearly he needs to get.
Hey, Marz, see, you just be starting stuff, don't you, Marz?
I'm just going with what I was told.
Hey,
we were told that.
Yeah,
But
I'm just going with what I was told.
We were
Marz,
told
he's
that.
better. He's better than Hakeem, right?
Exactly.
So but he can't post up.
Better than Hakeem. I'm just going with what I was told. Don't shoot the messenger.
We
okay,
talk about the man.
okay.
We talk about
by someone who saw the 90s live, so they know what they're talking about. I'm just going with what I was told.
Giannis was. Oh my god.
Giannis would dominate. Giannis would dominate the post. He would dominate all the bigs. He has so much of good dribble moves. He'll dribble around everybody and just.
He would dominate the 90s. I ain't gonna fight that. But in terms of in the post, he was not Olajuwon. He was not Malone. No way.
Do you think Giannis is more Like, do you think Giannis would bully David Robinson?
No, I do not think that.
Okay,
no,
interesting. I was told that.
No way he would do that. Have you seen David Robinson?
I thought I had, but I was.
What
I was
the
told.
hell?
I was told.
No way.
He said I thought I had.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen him, but clearly
no. Realistically speaking, though, I've always wondered this, and for guys who majority grew up on the 90s and 80s basketball, I do wonder, like, how do you guys think Giannis would translate in the 90s or the 80s, right? Because I think he does benefit from being a help defender in today's day. He doesn't have to play one-on-one like that. I don't think that's a strong suit in his game, but he's a phenomenal help defender. He's a phenomenal shot blocker because of that. But in an era where he's going to have to play more in the post, and that's not really the strongest suit in his game, he's going to have to play more one-on-one as well. Like, how do you guys think that would translate, especially with him going up against guys like David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Shaq, Hakeem? Like, how do you guys think he would be going up?
Brian, you see that chat? I just started.
Well, to answer your question, Dub, when he showed up, he was only 199 pounds, and he filled out. He filled out really good, which means he would probably do the same thing back then. We're talking about a more physical era. That's number one. Number two, offensively, if you can imagine Ralph Sampson, that's Giannis. He's a combination of Ralph Sampson and Doc. Offensively, being able to get up and down the floor, playing in transition. Now in the post, he may struggle a little bit because he doesn't have the arsenal in the post. Being able to play, when I say play physical, being able to stay on balance. Like when I get the basketball and I'm getting pushed, being able to just go after a guy, face up a guy, go after a guy, hit a mid-range or a 12-footer like Malone did, or like Buck Williams did, to have that in your game consistently. Now, I don't think he'd struggle on the backboard. I don't think he'd struggle in transition. I don't think he would struggle defensively neither, because again, I seen him when he first showed up and he filled out. And I think he can handle the physicality. I think that offensively on the block, I think that might be challenging to him. But the other stuff, I think he'd be just fine.
How do you think?
I don't think. And here's the thing: the type of athlete that he is, like just his natural born ability, I don't even think they'd play him, even though they played a lot of post up. I don't think they play him in the post. I think he if he goes to the right system, they're playing him more like high post. They're transition, a team that kind of runs more. That would be the one that would utilize him the most. Anybody who says, "Here, go sit in the post and try to like drop step and dunk on."
He wouldn't do that. No, he wouldn't do that.
And I don't think any good coach would ask him to do that once they saw his athleticism.
Right.
Just like we talked about the other week.
I would have Giannis as a 90s small forward.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's what
I think he would play the free. I think
the way Giannis plays, how we were talking about the other day, he's always trying to run somebody over. Like but today, the defender can't protect himself. They got to let him push him over. They got to, it's still a foul. In the 90s, you can still check a dude coming through the lane. Giannis isn't doing this shit in the 90s. I don't see what. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect Giannis, but I don't see it.
He's drunk.
He's not. He's not.
He's
though.
drinking motor oil.
This isn't. This what we see do right now. Giannis, and on top of it, Giannis don't got no post moves. He don't got no post work. It's like you're not gonna bully David Robinson. You're not Shaquille.
It's not about bullying as opposed to finishing over the top and around people.
That's the part that
he's getting that shit slapped too.
Though, Bob, that's the stuff that's part, because you're gonna say he has no post moves today. Well, that's because he doesn't need them, right? So if
he needs a lot.
If he was born in the 70s or 80s, he's growing up in a time, and people are gonna see that athleticism, see the height.
I understand that.
Like if you remember 80s and 90s guys, the point guards had post moves. Like that was
just you always do that when we talk about having this guy in that time. If we do that, then that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we're talking about this Giannis in that game. He can't play like this, then it doesn't work.
He would have to adapt.
I agree.
That's why I said that that's why I said that he's more a bigger, stronger version of Doc. That's what he reminds me of.
Yeah. How many times have you seen Giannis go to work on the block?
and he wouldn't.
You put him as a small forward, like
if you put him at 6'10",
then what he's supposed to shoot?
But if you put him at 6'10" at the 3.
But small forwards didn't really shoot back then. If you think about like the Pippins and even Dr. J's, like they weren't known for their outside shooting. They were known for their slashing, getting to the hoop in transition.
But they both had mid-range jumpers they could fall back on.
Yeah, and that's where he would struggle. That's where he would struggle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see.
If Giannis is at the 3, if Giannis is at the 3, and then I mean, even though illegal defense was a thing, like a lot of guys would just commit to the double team, you know. Yeah. So and then with the defender playing backwards, so essentially you're gonna have 3 guys in the paint that Giannis is gonna try to get through. Giannis, even when he went up against the Raptors, he was struggling up against that.
Yeah, but hold on. Think about it on the flip side. You got Giannis coming at you 6'10" with a 7 whatever wingspan on a hard double. It's gonna be hard to throw out of that. Or you got him coming down to double the center in the post. That's a big dude with some long arms. They're gonna have trouble with that.
Not to mention
defensively, I think he would provide a lot.
Not to mention when you're talking about a guy. When you're talking about the double team and illegal defenses, so when you're above the free throw line, so back then, like you basically had you were basically on an island. So if that double team, if he's covering me and he's forcing me to the middle, if that double team is coming from the weak side, Giannis is fast enough to get around the majority of threes, especially in transition. Now, when we in the half court, he can just bully a lot of threes. The problem is that Ewing is standing in the paint. Right? Mm-hmm. David Robinson is standing in the paint. Shaq standing in the paint. And these guys, they're going to touch him up, which is why he would have to get stronger.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm kind of
$2, Angie, but you know the answer to that.
I'm just kind of worried about Giannis in the 90s. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get off like that. That's just my own.
I'm not worried about it. I'm positive he won't.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He said, "I'm positive he won't."
All right, fellas, moving along.
You don't know the struggles us Greek people have gone through. We survive.
Didn't y'all do a lot? Never mind.
Along the road, Smith said, "Bro, Drew and Batman Chris had 14. Giannis number 2."
What was your expectations of them?
Like I said, Marz, like a lot of the people that let them down was Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. They put too much stock into those guys, like they were gonna do something, man. They let them down. They let Giannis down, man. Giannis had a triple-double, bro. Godly.
BD Production said Jimmy scored 56, only hitting 3 threes in this era.
He hit 4, but they robbed him.
They did rob him with 1.
His foot was on the line. His foot.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, it was.
But it was a damn like what? Not even a milliliter.
Milliliter is crazy.
I don't know if you know this. A teacher at my kid's school.
That's volume, Dub.
A teacher at my kid's school is a scorekeeper, and they actually continually watch those threes that are close, and they'll adjust it even 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes later. And so I have faith in them because
I don't have faith in them because last year they fucked us up in Game 7.
I don't
have faith in them. They took it off. They actually took it off. Nah, I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that. Nah, they trying to rob us, bro.
Hey, Dub, man, listen.
Nah, bro.
All right, moving on.
Hey, man. Go ahead, Rod. I'm sorry.
Who's on the line?
Angie Carr said Dub's beard looked like it played at Game 7.
Dub, you do look wild right now. You look like you just was in a fight, dog.
Better be careful.
I haven't groomed my beard today, so I'll fix it next time.
All right, no problem.
I'm shaving mine off. I lost a bet.
Oh damn!
You being serious?
Trouble. Yeah, all of it.
See ya.
I'm gonna look as young as Dub. Probably younger.
Yeah, probably younger, man.
Vamp said Jimmy also played amazing defense last night.
That's what he does.
Yes,
yes.
sir.
He does.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I think he's the second best wing defender in the NBA.
Anybody denying that?
You can make that argument. Yeah.
What would you say, Marz?
I think he's the second best wing defender in the NBA. So small forwards.
Who?
Jimmy Butler.
Who's one?
Jaden McDaniels.
Mikal Bridges does it one or 2?
He's like 3rd.
I don't know.
Where's low and where's low budget?
That's tough. But go ahead. You got it.
Brody McDonald said, "Where does Davion Mitchell rank as a perimeter defender right now?"
I think he's awesome.
Everybody except
Bob already heard me say this. I hate Davion Mitchell in Sacramento. I think he's a starter in the NBA. I do. I think he's a starting point guard in the NBA. And I think that if he was on another crew, we'd see a lot more of him and we'd see a lot more of his strengths just as a defender. That's what he was at Baylor. He was a lockdown defender. Mm-hmm. And as good as he was as a defender, he's a solid offensive player. I think he could. I think that with time, I think he could be a better version of Drew Holiday.
Better version.
I think he could be a better version of Drew Holiday. I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say his name. Say his name, Marz.
Say my name. Say my name.
I think I think the problem we having with him is that he's playing in Sacramento. He's not going to play in front of De'Aaron Fox. That's not going to happen. So he's got to get on a crew where he is the lead guard. Like, I love him in Minnesota.
Yeah,
he cool playing behind De'Aaron.
Of course, you want him playing behind
Minnesota.
There's a guy in this year's draft class who reminds me of Davion Mitchell. I don't know if you guys watched him. Kayson Wallace. He plays for Kentucky. Defensively, he's a menace. Kayson Wallace. I think Davion Mitchell's a good comp for him. His offensive game also hasn't, like, it's not elite yet. He's more of just like a spot up shooter at this point, like secondary playmaker. But I think Kayson Wallace is like someone who should be looking at Davion Mitchell as someone he should aspire to be. Yeah. But I don't know about better than Drew Holiday. I don't know about all of that.
Remember, Marz.
Too far.
So, okay, we're in, what are we in, 2023? So let's say the last 5 years, Drew Holiday is becoming an elite perimeter defender, made the All-Star team. Up until that point, Drew Holiday was a guy who just kept breaking down. He stayed injured and he underperformed. So up until these last couple of years, Drew Holiday was not an underachiever, but he was not that good. But he got into the right situation in New Orleans, and then he went to Milwaukee, and then it materialized. I think the same thing could happen with Davion Mitchell, considering the defender that I think he can become and the offensive player that I think he can become. Because when I watch him, number one, he's got great footwork, strong as an ox. He's a smart defender. He doesn't commit dumb fouls. Now, again, he's young, so he's still learning how to play defense and be a better defender. I also think that his game offensively will materialize as he gets older. He'll learn the pro game and become a better offensive player because he was a scorer at Baylor.
I don't know, because he did come into the league like older as a rookie. I don't know how. I think he was like 21, 22 when he came in.
Right.
So I don't know how much more room that there's obviously room for him to grow offensively. I think first of all, the main focus should just be his 3-point shot. That just needs to be more consistent. But when I look at Davion Mitchell, I think Drew Holiday came in. He was more offensively sound. Now I do think the injuries are a very key point that you did point out. He was breaking down a lot. Like Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday backcourt. That should have been a menacing backcourt, but they both just kept breaking down. So I do agree with that. But I do think Drew Holiday just has shown more, even like his early years in Philly and onwards, just to show more offensively. And Drew Holiday, to me, is one of the 5 best point guard defenders ever. So I just don't know if Davion Mitchell has that ceiling. But I do think post Drew Holiday, there's not many point guards who I think will be able to do what Davion Mitchell does. I just think Drew Holiday might have been a bit of a statement.
I think that has to do a lot with what you was saying too, though, Marz. The fact that he's playing behind De'Aaron. If Davion did have some of those minutes that Drew was getting in his early days in Philly, I'm still kind of not sure if I agree with him being as good as Drew Holiday one day. But I see a lot of flashes from Davion to where I could see him being a really good starting point guard on another team and having some of those blowout games like Drew was having in Philly back in those days.
And you also got to remember too, Marz, that even though he comes into the league at 21, 22, so the best players, that's usually how it happened, especially back when I was coming up. Like you would see a guy's prime 26, 27, and that would last 5-6 years. It's not like it is today where a guy comes in the league at 19 and you see his prime at like 24, right? So this guy in Davion Mitchell, if he was on the right crew, like Jalen Brunson, for example, Jalen Brunson is turning into this guy that I kind of suspected that he could become, but he's 25 years old. So he's now coming into that. Davion Mitchell is another example of if he has his own crew in another 2-3 years, we could start seeing that kind of improvement.
Hey Angie, I'll clean up my beer for you. Angie's always a loyal supporter, so I got to clean it up for her, man. I got you, boo.
Oh my god.
Yo. That's what we're doing around here. Yeah, we do that too. We do that too around here. Just so y'all know. We cuss y'all out, and you know, we big up the girls too. No doubt.
Facts.
We big up the girls too. What was
that
last chat you had about James? Father Time might have caught up with him.
Hold on. Let me get to it.
What was that you just said?
Jalen Carter said Father Time might have crept up on LeBron. He got tired in the fourth and was settling for step back threes and struggled to beat his man one-on-one.
Okay.
Worried.
Let's be clear about one thing, Jalen. Father Time might not have crept up on him. He's here.
Yep.
Okay, he is here. He's sitting right in the living room. Okay, this isn't James at 27. Like, yo, he's starting to slow down. No, the dude is almost 40. Him and Father Time are sitting hand in hand. So there is no question about whether or not Father Time is crept in. He's here. Don't worry about that.
Father Time's chilling right next to LeBron.
Yes, he's sitting right in the living room. Yes, he is. Whenever you're ready, my man, come on home.
Yo, the chat, wow, yo.
So wild.
Insane.
No way you get catfished.
Yo, hey, some of y'all come for ticket, some of y'all come for chill, some of y'all come to be more fluent. Hey, some of y'all come for the man on Mars, some of y'all come for this, and some of y'all come for Dub's beard. I come for the chat.
That's right.
As long as y'all keep showing
How
up.
can we never read it? Let's go.
Hey, Dub, because I got to be chill now. You see, I can't even shout out Jenny Butts no more, man. My mama watched the show, man.
Hey, chill out, yo. We don't want to upset Mama, Big Ox. Nah, we don't want to do that. Nah, we don't want to
I'll do it for you. Hey, Jeannie Buzz, man. I know you watching right now. You one of a kind, man. I promise you.
Forget that racist Phil Jackson. Give Ox a call. Even though Tony Jr. be watching.
Light the beam.
Go to bed.
All right, y'all. Web Slinger said Russ versus KD, Steph versus Braun, looking for ring number 5. Kings' first playoffs since I was in the 2nd grade. Jimmy about to upset the number 1 seed on his way to a rematch with Boston. The WWE writers got nothing on the NBA writers.
The script is looking great right now.
It is.
It's a W script.
I got it right here. It looks good.
It's looking awesome. It is looking awesome.
Like the script.
The playoffs have, and we said it even before the playoffs started that this was going to be exciting. It has not disappointed.
Well, Tone brought something up a little while ago where he said, when have we had where a number 7 team is more likely to be the number 2 team? When's the last time that happened? More than the number 1 drops to 8.
We might have a 7 and an 8 in the same year.
Right.
Either 1 and a 2.
Right.
Crazy.
That's crazy. It's like some March Madness type stuff.
Miami.
It's April Madness.
What's that?
Playoff
Madness. It's like March Madness. Playoff Madness.
Yeah,
I sure hope so because we won LA.
You're a Warriors fan now?
We won LA.
Brian Green said Julius Randle is a late bloomer. He played the same position as AD, Cousins, and Towns at 6'8". He broke his legs and missed his rookie year. And he had to deal with sorry-ass Luke Jackson as a coach.
That was 8 years ago.
So when
the broken leg logic.
Let me ask you this. When's he going to bloom in the playoffs?
I'm just asking, when is he going to bloom? You said he's a late bloomer, but like he's like 28. So when does the bloom happen?
And just so you know, Blake Griffin didn't play his first season, and he started to show up quicker than normal. So
Joel Embiid didn't play
2 years. 2 years.
When Julius Randle blooms, let me know.
Julius Randle broke his leg in his rookie season. That was 8 years ago. 8.
It was in his first game, right?
Yes.
Said Blake Griffin didn't play his first season.
Yeah, he did.
What is that called? What is that damn thing called? I forgot what it's called. Microfracture surgery. That's what I'm thinking.
The same thing I think Ben Simmons might have had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jason Kidd had it. Yeah, Jason Kidd had it too. Hey, Marz Stoudemire had it.
All 3 of these teams going home tonight?
Atlanta, yes. T-Wolves, probably. And Clippers, probably.
Yes. I think they all out. I think all 3 of these teams close these series.
They're gonna meet in Cancun, and we're gonna send them a video camera so they can jump on the panel.
Goodbye.
That's fire.
Your mama's favorite TV channel. I mean podcast channel. My bad.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Let's read the Superchats.
Hey, but Dub, are we?
I think so.
That sounded like one of my jokes, bro. That's horrible.
That was a bad joke. That was a bad joke. I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Ah, dang. So 1 out of like 100. That's better than you, man.
That's all that gets remembered.
That's right.
BD Productions said, if the Heat go to the finals, can we finally put Jimmy over Paul George all time?
I already have him over Paul George.
Yeah, I didn't know that was something that needed to be debated.
We
Does
got
anybody
him.
up here have Paul George over Jimmy?
I do not have Paul George over Jimmy Butler.
I haven't
No, I
had
don't.
him for years.
Yeah.
Same. Brian Green with another super chat said, "What if Bill Russell could carry the ball, lower the shoulder, utilize the Euro step, or take an extra step on the drive like in today's rules? These simple moves were illegal back then." Marz and Dub.
Facts.
I'm like the biggest Bill Russell advocate up here. I have him that ranked higher than everyone. So don't
just pick the ball up and run with it.
I actually started giving Bill Russell more love.
Yeah, I have Bill Russell rated the highest out of everyone up here, so I don't need to be giving Bill Russell.
Who's the first, just because everyone's asking who
where you got him at, Marz?
Who was the first to Euro step?
Yeah, I got him at 5.
You have him at 4? Wow.
And I got him at 5. Yep.
Who was the first player you ever saw Euro step?
The first I saw Euro step was legitimate Euro step, or like the first iteration of it.
Yeah.
The first I saw was Elgin Baylor.
All right, thank you.
First you saw?
We can move on.
The first version of a Euro step I saw.
He's saying a clip of.
Yeah, like the earliest iteration of a Euro step I'd seen is Elgin Baylor. Maybe someone was doing it in the 50s that I didn't see, but the earliest.
Can we agree that they be letting Giannis just play rugby?
Yep.
They let a lot of them play.
Oh, so you're saying that?
Hey, Marz, hold on, Big Ox, because here's the problem I'm having with that logic. Because you're the same one that's talking about they letting him play rugby, but then you'll turn around and talk about Shaq against your Kings.
I don't got no problem with Shaq. I ain't got a problem with that. I got a problem with what the refs did on certain things, but I don't got a problem with the physical post play. I do got a problem with you letting cats pick the ball up at half court, put the head down and run. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't not even
you can't do that, yo. You can't just pick the ball up and just put your hand out like
so
that.
Marz, you're saying that they were allowed to Euro step in the 60s?
No, I'm saying the first iteration of a Euro step I saw was Elgin
if you saw what Elgin Baylor did.
Elgin Baylor was doing it.
You will see that was like the same way I said George Gervin was a prototype of KD. Elgin Baylor did a prototype of Euro step. It wasn't a Euro step where there was a gather and a 1-2, but it was like the ball's out in front of him and he went this way and then went the other way and took it all in like 1 minute.
If you see it now, knowing what the Euro step is, you'd be like, oh, that's where it came from.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And Magic was Euro stepping 35 years ago. I know you don't want to hear that, Dub, but yeah, Magic.
I knew.
He was Euro stepping 35 years ago.
Not many people. I'm actually very impressed. Not many people know about the Elgin Baylor one, which is that's impressive.
Yeah, Marz be in the lab, bro.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I watch basketball.
Clearly.
Not just the box scores.
No, you didn't know the box score tells you how many Euro steps were attempted.
Yeah, that's a stat.
I did hear that, Marz. That's not new. I did hear that.
There you go.
Donovan Samuels with another super chat. He said, "Of the coaches remaining in the playoffs, which coach is most likely to be fired after their team's playoff run ends?"
Doc Rivers.
Coach Bud.
Bud, if they lose,
both of them.
Miami,
Doc Rivers and Bud.
He's fired. You can't be a 1 seed and lose to an 8 seed and not get fired.
And last year, too, you're going backwards. Okay, you went to the NBA championship in 21 and won it. Last year, you lost in the second round, and then this year, you get bounced. You don't lose. You get bounced.
An 8 seed.
I get what's going on here. Giannis is throwing the series. It makes sense. Giannis is throwing the series so they could get Nick Nurse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did Dallas fire Avery Johnson after he lost to Golden State?
Did Dallas fire? Yeah, they did. The next year, he got fired. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That was the year that Dirk won the league MVP. He got fired. He got fired. Yes, he did.
He should get fired. 100%.
They were the number 1 seed, Marz. They even though that was a bad matchup,
that was a crazy.
That was a bad matchup with the Golden State Warriors. They had won 67 games that year. They had lost to Golden State, I think, 2 or 3 times that they played them. Golden State served them 2 to 3 times that they played them.
So where do you rank that amongst like choke jobs in the NBA?
Where do I rank that amongst choke jobs? Let's see.
We know it's number 1.
We know it's number 1. We
already know that 2011 is number 1. When you're favorite to win, that's up there pretty high. I mean, Jabbar in the Milwaukee Bucks in 70, I think it was 72.
72 or 73.
Against the Warriors.
Yeah, he underperformed.
That was a choke job.
Yeah, that was absolutely a choke. They won 60 games that year. There was no reason why they should have lost to Golden State. None.
Okay, cool.
No way they should have lost to Golden State. What you call it too? The Lakers in 70 losing to The Lakers losing to the Knicks. They should have smoked the Knicks.
Yeah.
No way that they should have. No way that they should have lost to them. The Lakers in '84. No way that they should have lost to the Celtics. That series should have swept Boston. As a matter of fact, going back to Los Angeles. Let's see. Dirk Nowitzki with the number 1 seed. How about the Lakers in 2004?
Nah, I don't know about that one. That's not like the Dirk Nowitzki versus the Warriors is a bigger choke job to me than that one.
Just so you know, they would pick to sweep Detroit that year in the finals. That was the consensus.
But chill, it was just the caliber of the opponent that they were playing. Like at the time, maybe like the magnitude of them losing.
Yeah.
Like I'll do that one. The magnitude of the loss at the time was kind of crazy, but when you look back on it in hindsight, that unit was ridiculous.
Yeah, Detroit looked back a lot more favorably in hindsight than they were at the time.
Right. It was completely wrong. No doubt about that. If Detroit when I think about it today, if Detroit played the Lakers 10 times, they beat them 9.
The Warriors 3-1. That's a bad one.
That might be the biggest choke job in NBA history. That right there.
Second.
I'm sorry, second to 2011. Yeah, that's higher than Dirk Nowitzki.
LeBron has the best choke job.
Yo, the dude, I never seen anything like that before.
Everyone knows that.
100%.
No. I've said this a lot of times. I hold it against LeBron. I hold 2011 against LeBron, but then I hold the following years. I give him credit for because the way he came back from that. It's impressive.
Yeah,
you got to give him both.
There's nothing to come back from if he doesn't.
I don't think we talk nearly enough about the Golden State Warriors being up 3-1. Yeah, I don't think we talk nearly enough about that. Nearly. That goes by the wayside.
Stimulus package from the NBA giving LeBron James a free ring. It's crazy.
Stimulus package is crazy. Ron, this is your world, man. I'm done.
Sure. Dude, are you not gonna tell him to focus?
What? We're just talking about choking.
Yeah, we got a lot of super chats to get through, man. Let's go.
Jesse Aceto said, "Can you guys talk about Dillon Brooks not talking to the media?"
We did.
Yeah, we did that.
You're welcome.
Yes, we did.
There you go.
Yes, we did.
Thank you, Jesse.
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse. That's
we don't have time for this. We need to.
My bad. My bad.
Justin Ellis said, "Let's not act like Kawhi didn't play game 2, knowing he already had a knee issue." And PG came out today and said Kawhi wants to play.
Exactly. Well, he's had a knee issue since 2017. We know that. That's not news. It's not like we just found out that he had a knee issue. He's always had knee issues.
Webslinger said Ticket wants players to cripple themselves for his entertainment. LOL.
Facts.
Nah, I see what Ticket's saying. I do see what Ticket's saying. Like
yeah,
he
we don't have time.
Ticket wants them to be gladiators.
No, okay, but hold on. Let's be honest though. The toughness of players and playing when hurt has gone from
that
was stupid where they killed themselves to do it to like a little bit like 2 months off for a token.
We got to get to here.
We got to get
we got to get to there.
But a lot has to do with all the money though too, right? There's a lot more money. Makes a difference.
Look like Trae Young cooking early.
Ticket one in there, walking on torn Achilles, talking about.
Hey, Ron, how do you feel about Trae Young? How do you feel about Trae Young?
Dog, we don't have time for that.
We can make time for Trae. Hey, we got
I'm sure we can make time for Trae.
We got time.
All right, speed round it.
Next super chat. John Vaughn said, "Bob picking and choosing. Claw always hurt. Anyone else would say he's soft, quote unquote. No excuses."
Oh man, he's talking to you, Bob.
What am I supposed to say to that?
Nothing.
Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah, okay. Bob, you're sticking up for Kawhi. Yeah, you goddamn right. I'm sticking up for Kawhi. Told y'all that's what I'm here for. This king shit was just organic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to push a light the beam. I'm here to leave Kawhi the hell alone.
All right, the truth has come out. HNIC said everyone co-signs Wise work ethic. To tell him to retire from the game that has probably been his escape from all the trauma he's endured is inhumane.
No, it's not inhumane, HNIC, simply because we're talking about a guy who physically can't do it anymore. It's not like we just want him not play anymore. We would love to see him keep playing, but physically he can no longer do it. at the level he used to be able to do it.
Times. I've said this. I want every single player to be 100% healthy for every single game.
Right.
Of course, that's what you want.
Physically, he can't do it anymore like he used to be able to.
But if you can't,
can I ask you guys this? Because, oh my God, my bad, Marz. Because the bubble, because I think the Clippers, the Lakers, and everybody, I think they did benefit from the fact of taking a break. That way, they didn't have to endure a whole season and then playing in the bubble. My bad, Marz. I have to ask this question.
Do you not ask enough? Hold on. Do you not ask enough questions on the 20 shows you host?
What the fuck, Fluent? I thought we were good. We're not good anymore.
Yes,
what the fuck?
yes.
If you guys don't get your Superchats reds, remember I tried to get you guys Superchats.
Golly.
That's right.
Bring on fuck it.
Bring in the toxicity. Bring it. Pour it on. Yes.
Fluent, press him, Fluent.
These two are getting broken up. Yes.
Go ahead.
We was tired of seeing all that.
That's why I got Fluent in the top right corner and Dub in the top left corner. You know, we can't get too lovey-dovey on the panel.
No, especially while I'm here. I ain't trying to hear that.
Hey, yo, Dub.
That rose. Bitches on my old phone. I should call what I know. I'm out. I'm distracted, y'all. My bad. I'm out.
Dub is nasty. All right, Hall of Fame Mike said, can I get each panelist top 10 players under 25 and which player you see winning a championship out of the 10 first if they haven't already and why? What I'm going to do is, it's five of us up here. We all just going to go around and say two
one
players
guy.
that we got. Yeah, one guy each.
Okay.
Well, two guys each, but we'll go around.
Yeah.
We're going to start with, I want to go Chill, me, Fluent, Bob, Marz.
Luka.
JT.
Jokic.
Jokic at 28.
Under 20. I didn't know.
Under 25. Tone. Focus, man.
Oh, under 25? I have no idea how old these guys are.
25 and under.
Just guess someone who you think is young, and then we'll say if they're young.
Jesus, Ja.
Yes, he would count.
Keegan Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Shea.
Trae Young.
Damn it.
You couldn't let Ron get Trae Young.
I mean, De'Aaron's under 25. I'm gonna go with De'Aaron.
Yes, he is.
Damn.
I only stole yours, Fluid, because he stole mine.
Ant. I'll take Ant.
Anthony Edwards. How many is that?
That's 7.
That's 8.
No, 8.
I want Franz Wagner.
Yes.
Jalen Green.
I like it.
I was getting Jalen Green in there, definitely.
DJ Casper Marine. DJ Casper Marine said, I need Bill to join Greek Freak. What y'all think?
That would be
What?
good.
For who?
I don't love it,
Like if
I don't love
you
it,
eliminate, you'd have to probably eliminate Drew, which means
No, get rid of Middleton.
So you're gonna have
Chris is a free agent. Chris is a free agent.
Chris is a free agent.
Sign and trade.
Seems a little small back, but okay.
I don't know if the money works.
It is a small back.
Because you got two super maxes and another max guy in Holiday. I don't know if the money works.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
if it
you
doesn't
guys
work,
have to tell me what a Don DeMarco sound effect is.
Don DeMarco.
No idea.
We'll get you
Just
right.
so you know, we have a show coming out from the last. Do you guys see the last TikTok that Dub posted, where I don't know what things mean and they have to explain them to me, like OD?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna do a whole show where they tell me all these terms I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna get a show to make you more fluent.
Yeah. I told you. Yeah, everybody, even me, we all got to get more fluent.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie the Tree said, who would have a better career without injury? Penny, Brandon Roy, Grant Hill, Derrick Rose, in order 1 through 4. Stay encouraged, guys. Appreciate you, Reggie the Tree.
Grant Hill, Penny, Derrick Rose. Nope. Grant Hill, Penny. Yeah, Derrick Rose, Brandon Roy.
I concur.
I flip Rose and Roy.
I agree with that. I can go either way. It would be Roy and D Rose. I'm not sure, but
I seen Brandon Roy. He was something else, man.
As of now, I'm gonna stick with B Roy over D Rose.
I was in the building that night. He put 50 on Phoenix, man. He was something else.
I grew up on B Roy. He from right up the street.
Another guy with degenerative knees.
Degenerative knees, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we supposed to talk bad about B. Roy?
He was making all-star teams and all-NBA teams with Ray Allen and Kobe Bryant and these dudes running around. He was making an all-NBA team and all-star.
I know this is for Marz because he's a stats guy. Do you know that Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Greg Oden only played 62 games together?
And they were for like 52 and 8 or something.
12. 50 or 52 and 10. Yeah.
That's nasty.
Nasty.
Also, wait, I want to go back because I got Penny number one. I got Penny Grant.
Oh, you got Penny over Grant?
I was going either way with both of them in my opinion. Penny,
let me go.
I went with Grant because I think defensively he probably would have been better than Penny. That's the only reason I went with.
I don't know why. I never liked Penny. I don't know what it was.
God.
No, not his game. His game is great.
You did say Ben Simmons. I mean, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah, Penny just. I don't know. I don't know.
BLA Bakerson said 3-team trade: 76ers, Heat, Portland. Sixers got Dame and Duncan Robinson. Blazers get Hero and 4 first, 1 from Miami, 3 from the Sixers. Heat get Maxey and Toby.
And they only lose Duncan. Shit, Maxey. I don't know. I don't like that for Miami.
I love that for Miami.
So Miami.
I'm off of Toby, bro. I'm off of Toby.
So let me get this straight.
They get Maxey.
Miami give up 1 first-round pick and Tyler Hero and end up with Tobias
and Duncan Robinson.
That's not giving it up. That's free. So they give up 1 first-round pick and Tyler Hero and get back Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris. And if you're Miami, you do that 100%. That's a robbery for you guys.
Who gets robbed in this trade?
I don't like what Portland's get.
They get the 4 first stuff.
They get Hero on the 4 first.
Three of them are from Philly, who's going to be contenders. That's like the 26th pick. That's why okay, we don't have enough time to talk about picks and stuff. Yeah, so I don't like it.
I'm just off of Tobias Harris.
He's been alright.
Tobias played all right last series though.
Ox, what you looking for from Tobias Harris? I don't know.
Don't you have like 106 super chats?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to.
Right.
I mean,
in 10 minutes, this would be the fastest speed round ever.
Do it.
It's not possible.
Put it on vinyl. Said we've wanted Bud gone for a long time. If losing to an 8 is the sacrifice we have to make, then so be it.
Short-term loss for long-term gain.
Never should have hired him.
Exactly.
Jalen Carter again said Basketball Hall of Fame lets everyone in. NBA needs its own.
I do think that there should be a pro basketball Hall of Fame.
Agree.
I do think that. Mm-hmm. They're the only sport that doesn't have it. Everybody else has a pro football Hall of Fame, pro hockey Hall of Fame, pro baseball Hall of Fame. Basketball is the only one that doesn't have one.
Jake Takashi said, will Jimmy Butler be a Hall of Famer at the end of his career?
Yes.
Yes,
he will.
You just said everybody gets in.
Angie Carr said, chill, influent. You taking Giannis over Big Country?
No.
Big Country was smoking Shaq, bro.
Marz thought you for sure.
No, facts. I didn't watch, man.
Yeah.
Hold on, though. If they let everybody in the Basketball Hall of Fame, I'm saying I done tore up every park west of Colorado and every gym on the West Coast. They didn't let me in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
You have a shot.
Hey, don't think I just breezed by the way you called out Ticket earlier.
I heard that too.
I'm clipping that.
I don't know. I think Ticket. I don't know if Ticket still who's Ticket might be a little past his prime. So I don't really, I really wanted with Dale. That's what I really wanted with, but he been ducking. So whatever.
Dale and Shaq. That's what I'm saying. Y'all out actively on here.
Dale act like I want to touch down at JFK, LaGuardia, or Newark. Like, what's up? We can hoop anywhere.
I heard Dale wants you on his home court in Guyana.
We could do that too. I prefer it that way. Tear him up in the motherland.
Isaac Ford said proof that Jimmy Butler is MJ's illegitimate son.
I've been saying that for how long?
Honestly, yo, I just want a DNA test. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
prove that y'all two ain't related. Because I'm convinced they are.
He knows this stuff. Is Jimmy Butler Michael Jordan's son? Yes or no? Answer.
Yes. I'm gonna take that as a no. He don't think so.
Well,
nope.
A little bit.
he's
kind of his son.
Kind of like you kind of his father right now, Tom.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't work. No, your wife, Mrs. Fluent, wasn't kind of pregnant with him. No, she wasn't.
It was 50-50.
MBRK said rebuild is stupid for the Nets. They don't control picks.
They have swaps. So if Houston are trash, even though we got Udoka, so we're not going to be trash. But theoretically, if Houston were trash and Brooklyn were trash, they would still get a high draft pick. They would just get the lesser of those picks. So if Houston had the first pick and Brooklyn had the third pick, they would just keep their number 3 pick. That's
right.
It. So it still would be in their best interest to tank.
Right.
Rugger Red said Russ going to pull it out tonight and make it work. We believe this? Is Russ going to pull it out?
I doubt they win. I think Russ might play well, but I doubt they win.
Russ.
Shout out to Russ playing good though. Shout out to Russ playing good.
Some great stats and a loss.
Yep. Shout out to Russ though. Russ just got a contract extension these last 2 months.
King Jordan said Marz got a girl on the way. That's why he want to end it.
Okay.
Is that why you rushing us, Marz? You got something coming through? Is that what's going on, Marz?
Homies over hoes.
I'll leave that up to the imagination.
Marz, I thought it was homies over hoes.
Marz got somebody coming through. He don't got a lot of time for our nonsense. Let's hurry this up, y'all.
Hey, Marz, get up out of here. Marz, go ahead and your business.
She coming over to the crib. Go ahead, Marz. Light the candles. Get the scene set.
Marz ain't got time for us. Marz got somebody coming through.
Hey, Marz,
on, man.
do you know Teddy Pendergrass? I'll send you a playlist, bro. Don't worry about it.
To give you an idea, Marz, really quick, the reason I'm 100% confident that I was born in the 70s and Teddy Pendergrass had something to do with it. I'm sure of it. I'm 100% confident he has something to do with it. No doubt about it. Yes.
Basketball reference Riz is crazy.
Hold on, what? I gotta see this. What they say?
Basketball reference Riz.
Get to the super chats, man.
Angie Carr said Marz, CBS, Champions League crew, or TNT crew.
TNT crew. But the CBS Champions League crew, they're very funny. That's Michael Richards, Thierry Henry, Jamie Carragher, and them. But I'm still going to go with TNT.
All right, I got a couple more. I'm going to read. Rioski said, when calling players injury prone, at what point does dirty plays or freak accidents come into account? I.e., Embiid's face, Kawhi's knee with Zaza.
Well, how likely is it that those freak accidents happen every year? So
Not
when
very
you're saying
likely.
injury prone, it's someone who just has reoccurring injuries. Now, if is everyone a freak accident? No. So those are one-offs.
And Zaza's injury with Leonard was his ankle. It had nothing to do with his knees. Nothing.
Along the same lines, 13200 said, are injuries ruining the playoffs? Giannis, Ja, Fox, Hero, Kawhi, PG, outside of my Knicks, smiley face. These playoffs feel underwhelming so far.
I'll tell you what, Hunter. I bet you if the Knicks won the NBA championship, you couldn't care less about these injuries.
Part of the game.
You wouldn't.
Anyone that uses injuries as an excuse,
You wouldn't be able to care. You couldn't care less about these injuries.
The best
If
team
they
is
won
the
NBA
healthiest team.
championship. That's it.
Definitely part of the game.
part of the game.
But do you guys feel that the playoffs are underwhelming so far?
No.
Hell no, this has been great.
Amazing.
I do think they're a little less competitive than I thought the first round was going to be. I mean, so there's some close games, but I'm talking about just like it's a lot of 3-1s. You know, like whether it's been 3-1s and then sweeps. Us and the Warriors are the only 2-2 so far. So I think it's getting a little getting over with a little sooner than I thought it would be. Still good games though.
I know one thing. The way Trey playing right now, it's going to be a 3-2.
They're up by 3.
Whatever.
You haven't even gotten to the game yet, Ron. You still in the parking lot getting your tickets.
What about I know we don't got too much time, but are we gonna talk about how much of a goofball your boy is, Ron? What's up with DeJounte? What? They're talking about.
We got a few more minutes.
He might get suspended. What do you mean?
No, it ain't no Mike. There ain't no Mike.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. I'm talking about yesterday.
Why don't we say that tomorrow? Are we on at a different time tomorrow? What time are we on?
We're on tomorrow morning. Same
time.
Actually,
11.
whoa. We will be on tomorrow morning at 11 Eastern time. 11 Eastern time. We'll be here.
See? Coffee and donuts.
Normal length.
Check us out.
All right, y'all. Well, it was a beautiful show as always. Appreciated you guys tuning in. Does anybody have anything to say on the way out?
We still got 3 minutes, Ron.
Yes, we have a flip flop this week. Fluent and Chill has a 1 week only. Will be Wednesday at 9 p.m. for Fluent and Chill, because we're going to move PC Gridiron to Thursday at 8 p.m. to do live NFL draft coverage. So Fluent and Chill just this week only, Wednesday at 9 p.m. and moving PC Gridiron to Thursday at 8 p.m. to do live. And we're going to have a special guest, right, on PC Gridiron to cover the draft?
That's what I heard. I heard that.
This guy.
I heard that.
Chill
I heard that.
Jay coming to join us to do some draft coverage.
I may come through for a couple of minutes. Yeah, I might come through for a couple of minutes and see.
I have to come in the second round because your 49ers don't have a pick in the first.
Yeah, we don't pick. We don't pick till the second round. I think we got to pick.
We're good. We don't need a first round pick. We're good.
Yeah,
I think we chill. I'm gonna be busy, but let me know where the number 5th pick goes to.
All right, we're gonna hit you up. We'll let you know. We'll let you know what it is.
Hey y'all, if you're still in the stream, you haven't liked the video, go ahead and please hit that like button on the way out. Until then, we're gonna catch y'all at the same time tomorrow, 11 a.m.
Hey, Ron, I heard y'all was trading that 5th pick.
What?
I don't know.
Nah.